Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with what is set to be one of the biggest games of the season so far, especially in Division 1. We have no Tormentor coming up against Wong's Bakery. And to take you through this game, we have the incredible, amazing co-analyst on the chair of Voxo. You played against both these teams. How are we feeling about both of them?
I played unsuccessfully against both of them. But yeah, should be a good game. I mean, they both look quite strong in the opening games they played. So I think it will be close. Obviously, Wong's probably favored, but yeah.
Interesting first few bans here coming up on both sides. No Tormentor taking out the Razor, which has became a very popular first pick for a lot of teams at the moment. And then also focusing on that Largo, which we've seen Wongs pick up recently. And it's immediately when we see that big ol' Kamki doesn't get the Largo and doesn't get the Shadow Demon, he goes into his next reflex, which is almost always the Jackro or the Clock. And this time he goes for the Jackro.
Yeah, so the Largo ban, I think it's like very good pos 5 at the moment. We banned it against them. I think Kamki played it a week or two ago in that other tournament they played. The Treant is like top 2 supports, and he played that against us as well. It's very good. And then Warlock is obviously gone as well as like probably the top 1 support in the patch. And no Tormentor pick up Tusk in response.
Yeah, this Tusk pick, I was eavesdropping a little bit on the no Tormentor discussion before this game. They really do like picking up the Tusk against Wongs. It's obviously good because they play it on Faith Kian. I assume Punjabi can also play it. But more importantly, it acts as a quasi-ban against Wong's Bakery. I mean, it is just by far Lunatic's best hero. So being able to pick it in quasi-ban here is very useful.
Yeah, you think it's going to be Keen playing the Tusk or Punjabi?
Almost
right, okay. Okay, because I'm not seeing this played as much. At the start of the patch, it was being played, but it's kind of fallen away a little bit. Like, it's not as dominant on the lane as a Jakiro, a Warlock, or a Treant is, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't secure the lane as much, but it obviously offers you more mid-game. And it's kind of dependent on what carry you're going to pick with it to combo, I think. It can be very good, but you just need the right carry.
When you think through what Torme has played historically, it makes a lot of sense, though, right? Things like his Ursa, things like his Shadow Feed. Tusk really likes laning up with either of those, so kind of goes there. They actually banned the Ursa themselves this time, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting to see that. I was actually expecting them to keep that open for Weathermay. What do we think of that decision about?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Ursa ban. It's not that popular at the moment. So I don't know. Maybe they have some pick they want to protect here. Like you think of Corey's offlane pool as either summons or it's a melee thing like an axe or a bristle. So maybe it's protecting that.
Next pickup we see for the side no Tormentor is the Windy. Most likely gonna see that on Punjabi, right?
Yes, yeah, that'll be Punjabi on the Wind Ranger. So that's the 2 supports there. Yeah, and I'm just thinking as well, Tide. So it just the Ursa ban opens up a lot of Corey's heroes. Like there's not much left to counter at these melee offlaners. But yeah.
Next pickup for Wong's Bakery. They're taking their time with this one. Historically, they do like to pick Maniac's hero a little bit later this league in comparison to previous leagues. As such, I think it's not entirely unlikely we see the Shirks pick up a little bit earlier here. Based upon what he's been playing recently, we've seen a lot of Axe. It could be a good counter pick since they already have the Jackro. It's really nice. Stops Corey from picking it potentially.
Yeah, the Axe into Tusk is like one thing because you can destroy an Axe on lane with a Tusk if you get the right combo. If they pick an Axe here, and also you got a snowball save as well. I mean, it's hard. I learned that myself when I played Tusk. It's not always that easy if you're not good at it. But they go Tiny instead for the first pick here. Probably the pause 4 Tiny.
Yeah, there's the Shirks Timber. Not entirely surprising, something that he plays quite frequently, although picking a Timber this early is a little bit scary. It is once again telling Corey if you want to go for one of those, really tanky offlaners, those melee offlaners, that they have a bit of an answer into it. The Tiny, we saw Lunatic play this not so long ago, but it didn't go great for him, so I'm kind of surprised to see them pick it up again here.
Yeah, it's okay into Tusk. I play this Tiny a lot myself. You can't really walk up on Tusk and start hitting because it's just so susceptible to a toss back. Also, you can defend yourself with the toss away. And I just think it's a pretty good hero in general. So I think the Tiny to Tusk matchup is probably Tiny favored on the lane. And then Tiny Timbersaw, like they're both melee, but I think it's a fine lane as well. The fine duo.
Next pickup for No Tormentor, most likely going to be tweets on that Ember Spirit.
Yeah, he played this against us. He wrecked us. I mean, everybody's wrecked us, but yeah, he played super well on the Ember Spirit.
It's not been a fun tournament for Sentinel. I mean, I'm feeling you. We're bottom of Div 3, so we're holding hands down there.
Yeah, but you never know. You never know what might happen, you know? So just got to keep the faith.
I'm sure our King Maestro shall pick it up in the second half of the season. It's
Yeah,
all going to be
that's
fine.
that's what he keeps telling me. It's like Men in Black every time we play a game. He tells me, no, this time it's going to be different, and it's not. It never is.
The next pickup then is Beastmaster for the side of No Tormentor. This is the Corey hero. It's his most experienced hero. I've just played a game with him on it about 5 minutes ago. He's extremely good on this. If he gets a good start, it's really impressive.
Yeah, I played with his Beastmaster, a few hours ago even. So yeah, he's very good at it. But Beast into Jakiro Tiny Timbersaw, I don't know if I would have picked it. Like, it's not a very good. It's not going to be a very good time. Like even Jakiro on the lane, the summon build is just maybe not as effective here, in my opinion. So maybe he doesn't go summon build. Maybe he goes Ags. But yeah, we'll see.
When I was playing it with him earlier, he did go for that fast Ags rush. So maybe that's what he's been practicing in advance of this game.
Yes.
I'm interested to see what they go for Nagi. Nagi's pretty untouched right now in terms of bans, and this is historically where they pick the Nagi hero on this 4th slot.
Yeah, I mean, it is just the Void Spirit insta-lock the last 2 or 3 months for Nagi. Whenever it's available, we'll just jam that in. And it's probably fine here. Like, the Ember Spirit matchup should be fine. I don't know. I don't play mid. So that's the obvious one. I mean, then you got the other ones, Invoker, Puck, Quap. They're all
I was thinking the Voker maybe because of the Tiny, but he goes for the Kunkka instead.
Okay, yeah, they played this against us the other day. So it's maybe going to be like a Crimson Kunkka. That's very good into what they've got going on No Tormentor at the moment. So yeah, should win the matchup. I mean, we had this matchup with the Ember into Kunkka, and that Ember was with the Living Armor, and he still got wrecked. So it should be very Kunkka favored, I would say.
What is it about Kunkka that makes him so good into the Ember? Is it just the constant poke of that Tidebringer?
Yeah, you have more damage, easier to CS, and the Tidebringer is going to poke him. And as well, you can't Remnant away as easily with X-Mark. Like, it's quite good catch against Ember. You want some other follow-up, like, X-Mark, Torrent, and then you get your Jakiro Ice Path on top of that. But it's a good starting catch for the Ember.
Next ban out for the side of Wongs is the Bat Rider. So obviously recognize the fact that you have a Timber, Kunkka, very strength-heavy lineup. Don't want to be facing off into that bat, so they get rid of it. And in return, No Tormentor, recognizing that they kind of want to play more of a tempo game, ban out the Clinks.
Yeah, I assume they're thinking that's a Bat Rider carry into the Timbersaw, which would be a bit of an unusual pick or ban. Maybe they know he can play it. I don't know that. And then they banned Medusa as well.
Yeah, some interesting bans coming out here at the last phase by Wongs. I mean, Medusa historically very good into something like a Timbersaw because having that mana shield means that you're just so much less susceptible to those whirling death chunk downs. But not a hero we see particularly commonly this patch. What cores are still in the pool that you would like to see on the side of No Tormentor? Because we probably are waiting out that one, right?
Yeah, it is the one pick left here. It's hard without seeing the pool. Oh,
I mean, in terms of coming
I have no
the
idea,
moment,
Mark.
there's still a Juggernaut potentially. We've seen that in a few games. Could they be going for a ranged core, something like a Drought to be able to clear up, and then they got Beastmasters jump it? It feels kind of hard to be picking any possible
I think
here.
you have to pick something with the Tusk on the lane that you can beat. You have a Tusk, you see the Timbersaw, like you have to pick something that this will combo well with on the lane, so you can maybe win the lane. Yeah, the Shadow Fiend was the obvious one, but that got banned early. So I'd say something ranged. Then,
ooh, there's a blast in the past we haven't seen in quite some time. It's the Coral Morphling. This guy used to be an absolute horror on this hero, but we haven't seen them play it in quite some time.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen him play this in a very long time. I don't think I've ever played into this, actually.
When they first broke into the scene, Wongs were picking this almost every game. It was the absolute Wong special, the Coral Morphling. So he is very experienced in the hero. He has some nice steals this game. Being able to steal out that wind run from the Wind Ranger is always super, super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna see what they try to pick into it. I mean, if you're playing into Morphling, what pause one do you want?
Okay, I need to ask you, what do you think here? Because I have no idea
You're my
I have no
analyst.
idea
I'm just
what they could
yapping.
go
That's
for.
my
I mean,
job.
maybe the drought, like you get the Ags, it does the redown reduction. It should be fine with the Tusk, but I don't know if I'd want to play a drought to Tiny Kunkka. Timbersaw will eventually force him out of lane, so it's a hard pick here.
Could
Like,
AM be the answer?
I was
Is that a
thinking
possibility?
Anti-Mage because it's pretty good into Tiny, it's pretty good into Timbersaw, but I just think there's too much control.
And they go
Okay.
for the Necro as their final pick.
You see, I would have never guessed the Necro, so there's no point of even guessing a hero, is there?
And it's going to be
Um,
a pause one Necro as well. They're going to keep tweets mid and put the
yeah,
Necro into that pause one.
yeah, I'm not sure about a Necro Tuskling. I mean, it's not what I would have picked, but it should be fine.
We're going to have to wait and see. On the basis of draft alone, who's are you liking more at this point of Oxo?
Probably prefer Wongs personally. Like I just think the support duo is better. I think that's where this game is going to be won and lost. Is like the three cores on the tournament are obviously slightly higher than the supports, and I just think the support picks are a bit more skill dependent as well. Like the Tusk and the Wind Ranger just require a bit more execution than a Jakiro does. The Jakiro lane will just be a win, no matter what, really, unless the Wind Ranger really outplays. So that's why I think Wongs should be safer here.
Yeah, it's looking like a really, really solid draft from the side of the Wongs. I am interested to see what Torme can do with this pause one Necro, though. I feel like if he gets pretty far into this game, he becomes a problem that's pretty difficult to deal with. I mean, what do they have to kill the Necro at this point, really?
Yeah, I mean, nobody really wants to buy a nullifier here. I mean, maybe in 40 minutes the Kunkka will get to a nullifier, but that's so far away. And the lane, I mean, he's good enough. He should win this lane on the Necro, you would imagine. So it's just magic damage. I don't know how Timbersaw is into Necro. I mean, I know it's pure damage, but it's not enough to go through a Necro. He's going to be getting heals off. He's going to get a stick off or something on a Necro. So the Timbersaw is probably not that big of an issue for the Necro either.
It feels like it's going to be a pretty free Necro game. The question is, will he get farmed enough where he can actually start pressuring that advantage, especially since Coral is going to be farming in these backlines? Folks, no Tormentor taking on the side of Wong's Bakery. Myself and Avoxo taking you through this one, as well as Anti-Doom the Observer. Can we get some love for Anti in the chat doing this while suffering from a horrible migraine? So God bless Anti, the true hero of the Irish Dota 2 community. Let's get into this game. So, looking at their level ones right now, Voxo, which team are you happier to be on if you're level one? Probably no Tormy, right?
Yeah, no Tormentor level 1 is decent bit better. I mean, you could take Shard to tag team on the Tusk, and that's always going to be good. I mean, you can take Chains on Ember, so probably better, but they smoke on Wong, so maybe they're looking for something to do.
Yeah, Wong's Bakery going to be moving down towards this bottom side of the map. So are no Tormentors, so this is going to be a big level 1 fight. They do have some pretty good level 1 themselves. You have the Tiny, you have the Breathe Fire. If they manage to catch them unawares, especially since their Windy isn't there, this could be a pretty big fight breaking out here. Seems like the side of no Tormentor are staying kind of resolute, recognize the fact this pressure could be coming up. They have that boar to try and break that smoke early, and they do pop in the end there on the Tiny. I think the boar had vision of that, right?
Yeah. And just two interesting facets to note here. Corey goes for the beast mode facet, so he's not going Helm of Dominator, and Campy also goes Icebreaker on Jakiro, which is quite unusual facet to take at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that Twin Terror just gives you so much laning presence, right? It's kind of surprising to see it here. I suppose it makes kind of sense considering that he is going to be acting as the form of lockdown onto that Ember with that X mark, but I don't know. Twin Terror feels so good in lane right now.
Yeah. No, it has been nerfed obviously with the liquid fire and stuff. So I'm surprised more people aren't taking the Icebreaker personally, but I don't know. I looked at the Dota Pro Tracker stats and it's still pretty Twin Tower favored in win rate. So yeah, we'll see. Because
Getting
maybe
towards
he
the
has to change his skill build even. You know, if you're not doing Twin Tower, maybe you don't do Liquid Fire build.
Potentially not, but once again, I mean, oh, they're making an early go here onto Wet Torme. They do have Faith Kian here ready to try and play interference, and he does get off those shards, so the level 1 rotation from Lunatic does not end up favoring him, and the Necro just TPs past them onto the lane and gets an uncontested first wave.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a bit forced. It's not very easy to get on top of the Necro there, because you probably need a tiny toss back, but that just requires some good positioning at the start of the play.
In the end, a little bit of a slight gain there coming out for the side of No Tormentor, but across the lanes, it feels like they are going to struggle somewhat, especially when we look at this mid lane. Already, this Ember almost dead.
Yeah, no, this mid lane is not looking good. I mean, 5 CS, 5 denies for the Kunkka already on like 3 waves.
It's pretty damn rough for Tweets here, although it is a hero that has the ability to farm the enemy side of the map, pick back up this farm if his team create the space, and Tossback is down there to try and stop a go onto the tiny Maniac, just playing low safe. One lane we haven't talked too much about so far is this Morphling and Jackro into the Beastmaster Windy. Of course, the Windy, one thing we haven't mentioned, if this Morph tries to go back to heal with that low agi, you're kind of always at risk of these power shots, right?
Yeah, that is true. It's hard, like, because he's gonna go back and you don't have a ward down, so it is gonna be just a blind power shot, but it's possible.
You gotta believe in the Punjabi.
Yeah, you gotta believe in it.
Attempt here for a creep pull coming out from Maniac, but Faith Kian using the body blocks to try and force him back to really make him take a lot of damage if he wants to get off this play. Seems like he is going to be able to do so. Faith Kian not willing to throw down the shards here to try and block this play, but actually it took so long that now they've managed to pull their own creeps up to it, and they get off the shards, which means now the blood grenade lands on top of Maniac on this tiny, and first blood goes to Wet Torme.
Yeah, he just tanks so much damage. I mean, you have 0 armor on Tiny until level 6, you know, until you take your ulti.
A really nice play from Faith Kian there, getting off the body block on that block for not even before the shards, getting off the body block on those creeps so that they couldn't just immediately be dragged, meant that shards play was able to be made. But meanwhile, mid lane looks like some trouble here for the Ember Spirit. The right clicks are raining down. Out comes the Tidebringer. One more right clicks. All it's going to take, and they do take out Shirks' Cur in the meantime. But that kill in the mid lane is going to mean a lot more XP going the way of that big old Kunkka. But in the bottom lane, trouble is coming out here for Shirks. One more right clicks. All it's going to take in terms of him going down. But it's 10 seconds to his snowball. So Shirks is able to kind of meander away on the Timber Saw, but with no regen to speak of and a dead courier, he's going to be pretty useless for a while.
Yeah, I'm getting flashbacks here, Mark, to like, what, 3 or 4 days ago on my mid lane. I mean, and that was with living armor and my mid lane was still dying, so this one's going to go even worse, you would imagine.
Toss back here onto this big old Tusk to get a lot of damage out from that go. Also has Blood Grenade, but here comes the heals from the Necro, which means now instead it's Lunatic who's going to go down.
Yeah, this Necro is just dominating down here. This heal is too much for the to step up to. I feel like they need to reset.
Maestro's happy, right? When
What?
he sees this mid lane. At least Maestro's happy. He's saying, it's not my fault. See, this is just how this always goes.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like they need to reset on the Dire offlane. Like they're so low. They could die again. Okay. Like they're so low that they can never step up against this Necro, and eventually the Necro will just keep wearing it down. On mid as well.
Comes up from the tiny, and they do manage to chop down Tweets quite quickly. But in goes Faith Kian. He's got some damage here. He could make him down here. One more right click's all it's going to take, and then goes the power shot from Punjabi. The snipe. A huge play there from the supports on the side of No Tormentor. He does die for it, but he's probably perfectly okay with this. That levels out that mid lane at least somewhat.
Yeah. I think Corey will be happy with this. Like, even if you get Jakiro out of lane for 30 seconds, 1 minute, this Beastmaster is going to get enough to get online. Like, he might get a kill here. I don't know.
The Breathe Fire comes out, and now the right clicks are raining down onto Corey, so he is going to have to turn tail and run here on the Beast. But interestingly, the Jackro still did go for the double level in the Liquid Fire, despite picking up that Twin Tower facet, so no levels in the upgraded Ice Path as such.
Yeah, I just thought maybe he goes maybe 1 point in the Liquid Fire and does 2 points in Jewel Breath because he doesn't have the Twin Tower, but yeah, maybe it's just still too good to take the Liquid Fire.
So far, still a very close laning stage. The one person who's looking pretty giga poor, despite the 9 denies on Kunkka, we're still doing okay on the Ember, but this Timber is really struggling, and you're going to have that level 6 soon on Necro, which is going to make it even worse.
I'm surprised it's gone this badly. Maybe we just underestimated how good Necro is into this double melee line. Maybe that's the thing.
I think it's also been a little bit of outplay. I mean, both Weather May playing really, really well around the healing, and Faith Kian blocking basically everything that this Tiny has tried to do so far this lane, being a real nuisance here on this Tusk has just enabled Weather May to this incredible start that he had. 32-4 right now in the Necro, careening towards a Sacred Relic as we speak.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for them to deal with him if he gets this far ahead. Really
Go now onto Lunatic, but a nice use there of the Avalanche and the use of that Tusk. But he does end up getting caught. He TPs away. The Ghost Ship comes out, though. It catches both of these heroes. Probably kills off Faith Kian here, unless Roche does it, but he just about escapes. The follow-up bash might mean that this Ember might be able to get out. He goes to the TP, but he is hit with that X mark, so he's dragged back immediately. Has the chains to try and keep himself alive. The slow comes out as well from that power shot. Will he connect here on the Torrent? He doesn't, which means that his Ember Spirit is free to walk away from this way. Turns to go for the slice. Quite aggressive here on the Ember. Means that he might go down for this, but in goes Faith Kian to try and save him. And indeed he does. The Ice Path is laid down, but the Ember still manages to escape from this one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for the Ember. I mean, if he had died there, he wouldn't have had his level 6. He wouldn't have been able to get back out on the map or anything on the TP out. Even still, he's limping back to base here, and he doesn't have his 6. It's going to take him a minute to get back to base and back out on the map.
Every second he doesn't have that 6, he's just completely at risk, right? Like, not being able to jump away from that Kunkka. And even if he does, I mean, the X mark is still there. It feels like this lane's almost going to get harder for him, and kind of needs a babysitter there at all times if he's going to survive at this point.
Yeah, like the Ember is struggling here, but I think Corey's game is way better than it has any right to be. Like, I feel like if I was playing a Jakiro Morph, we should be winning this lane a bit harder. Like, Corey is eventually going to take this over in like 5 minutes time with his levels. He's going to make a rotation mid or something and fix the Ember's game.
Yeah, 53-7. They go for the roar immediately out. It's not enough damage because of the Ice Path coming out from the Jakiro with that Twin Tower Fast. He's able to do so much with the Iceberg Fast. Able to do so much to stop this. They do get the follow-up stun. They throw out the shards on Faith Kian. In comes that morphling waveform, but it's not enough to do anything against the side of the heroes from No Tormentor. So they force a rotation, but that's pretty much it. And now Shirks is in a position to just kind of creep skip this Necro bottom. Both of them just kind of playing their own games.
Yeah, they do force 4 heroes top on no Tormentor. 4 heroes for Wongs, that is. Like, the Tiny has to go through a portal and the Kunkka TPs. Ember picks up a rune. So, like, that, even though it didn't work, because they forced so many people out of there, it gives the Ember a bit of a comeback into the game here.
They try and make a go there on the Ember, but that recently picked up Invis rune coming in clutch, allowing him to just walk away from that. And he does have that 6 now, so he will have somewhat of an insurance policy for the goes. But meanwhile, it looks like Wongs are setting up for a go into Weather May. There's no one here ready to TP quite yet. Faith Kian's TP is ready. He TPs in immediately onto this Morphling, tries to save him. Can he get off? No, he can't. Great use of the Ice Path there from the Jakiro to stop the effectiveness of that TP from Faith Kian, and they pick up a really important kill on the Necro before he picks up that relic.
Yeah, he doesn't have any point in Ghost Shroud, and he also only had like a very small stick. I mean, the Ghost Shroud probably kills him quicker. But yeah, pretty bad death for him. And they forced 2 rotations down here on the supports. Like, I think that's the point there where you need your Ember ready with a TP. Like, Ember can't force anything. All he can do is just TP respond. I'm surprised he wasn't ready for that.
They're trying to get a play out of it now, though. They do see Maniac. He is caught up. The Shackle doesn't quite latch on either to the shards, but he has the follow-up with the Snowball to try and stop this big or tiny. But with no stuns left, Lunatic drops the kitty meow meow and TP's out of that one.
Yeah, just some misplay there from Keen and Punjabi about Mr. Spells. Yeah, I think this is going to be on Corey here in the next 5 minutes to make this stuff happen. Like, Ember is just in recovery, and he's going to TP in with a response. The Necro can't do anything until he gets picked up with his Radiance. So it's going to be on Corey taking the stop tower and making a move.
Really cheeky ward coming out there from Kamki to block up those Ancients. Just trying to do anything they can to be a Thor to the side of Corey when he's this far ahead. But Looks like a go now with a double boat coming out onto the Ember. The Ember and the Tusk managed to dodge out from that damage through the use of that snowball. So Faith Kian's still going to be going down here, but can they get the follow-up Ember is the question. That's what's going to make it worthwhile. Faith Kian does go down to this Tusk, but the Ember limping away from this fight, not going to go down. So you rotate 3 heroes and you get a pause 5.
Yeah, I don't know. It's quite an even game here. Like, it's hard to tell if anybody is really being favored. Like, Timber and Ember are kind of eating shit. But all 4 other players are pretty happy with how this is going on the cores, that is.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to come down a lot to what Corey's able to do in these next few minutes. He is rushing the Aghanim Scepter. He has 2 parts of it already. When he has that finished, it's going to be around the same time that Necro gets this Radiance +1, and I think that's going to be the go time for the side of No Tormentor in terms of taking an early fight.
Yeah, you're waiting for the Radiance, really. That's the big damage spike, because they're kind of like Wind Ranger, Tusk are a little bit low damage. The Beastmaster's going to be low damage until the Axe comes out. The Ember doesn't really have the levels, so it's just waiting on this Radiance timing to make a big play.
And you know, he's not far off it now. He's about 200 more gold until he's going to be able to pick that one up. He's 93-7 as we speak on this Necrophos, where Torme after a strong start. And historically, when this guy gets a strong start, this team do quite well.
He is prone to throwing. We have seen that. So he is prone to throwing, but I think it's like he gets his Radiance, he shows up to a fight, he's going to be pretty free for the first couple of fights. You know, they're probably not going to have enough to bring him down until later into the game, until the Morph can show up and they can do some stuff to him.
They throw the X mark out onto this Ember, and he's very slow jumping to that second Remnant. Can they keep in mind Faith Kian with the cover play here? Good heads-up positioning there from the Tusk. Gotta say, I mean, I don't like glazing this silly bald man, but he's been playing pretty decent so far on this Tusk.
Yeah, no, he's rotating well on the Tusk. They're just a little bit low level, though. They're only 4 on Punjabi, 5 on Keen. They need to get their 6s here and make a play on top, I think, with Corey. That's what needs to happen.
Doing what they can to save this tower, but the tower is looking pretty worse for wear on the side of No Tormentor. But once again, they are just counting down the moments until they can get this Radiance online. And now Beastmaster 1 item away from this Aghanim Scepter. It seems like with this Radiance out, this could be go time very soon.
Yeah, they have the Radiance now. The Axe is coming. So it's going to... How much can they get when these 2 items hit, you know? That's what's going to be the big factor here. Like, are they going to win a big fight, or maybe Wongs just dodge them?
The one nice thing as well is, even though the Ember is far behind, he recognizes this power spike and builds straight into that Spirit Vessel, which he does have finished up. Hang on, an attempt to try and invade onto the stacks here from the side of Wongs. They don't want to allow Corey to take these, and the entire team is coming to try and handle this. Here comes the Necro with that freshly minted Radiance. This could be a really bad fight for the side of Wongs, and immediately they lose both their their Tiny as well as their Kunkka, and they're not quite done yet. They're making a go in here onto this hero. Nice shackle coming out there from Punjabi. Follow up with a Polar Punch. Double kill for the Wind Ranger, and it's a 3-for-0, and the stacks are defended, enabling Corey to finish off that Aghanim Scepter. Yeah,
I mean, they just get so arrogant. They're walking up to that high ground when they know the Necro has a Radiance TP. You know, he's easily gonna... They're 3, and they're walking up into 3 with a Radiance Necro TP, and he has an ulti. You know, it's never going to go very well for them, in my opinion. I get why they feel they have to. Sorry?
The difference maker there is just like where they decide to take it. I know they feel they have to take it because they have those stacks there, but there's no way of Shirks ever joining that fight.
Yeah, no, Shirks can't connect. You can't get your Morph into a fight there at this stage of the game, so... I mean, I understand you see Corey taking, a 4-stack on Ancients. You have to contest it, but you just walk into your death because the Necro is so fat. That's the primary issue there.
They do now have finished up the Aghanim Scepter on that Beastmaster. So the side of No Tormentor, a pretty scary team right now. Wong's recognizing this, just sieging that bottom tower, knowing they can't take a fight. Probably going to have to exchange it for this top tower realistically.
Yeah, what Torme is baiting him in down here. He might not die.
Yeah, he's very big. They do have a big boat in his head, though. He goes down. That's a really unfortunate death for Torme. right after he picks a big item. They are going to lose their Jackaroo for at the start of this fight. Can they get anything more, though? They kind of need to on the side of No Tormentor. Nice use there, the shackles, but now they have no more stuns to speak of. Wait, they do. They have the chains coming out from the Ember Spirit, and that means they can kill off the Kunkka.
Get an arcane rune on the Ember. Thought the Necro might live a little bit longer. I thought that might be bait, but they have enough magic damage. You know, they have the Jakiro, ulti, tiny, etc. So they just about had enough. Like, if they don't kill him, it's gonna go so much worse, but they do. It's just still an even game.
That fight ever so slightly favoring the side of No Tormentor, but considering the timing they've now hit, you're more than happy to tank a 400 gold loss for a fight in order to slow down the tempo that's being pressed into you, especially when you have Coral on the Morphling. A hero we haven't mentioned too much so far this game, but doing decently enough, 7.5k net worth on him, has got the Vlads finished up and is about to finish off that Manta style in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about the Morph. They're going to take Roche here on Radiance. Yeah, probably going to need a BKB on Morph this game, you would imagine. Into Ags, Beast, Ember, Necro. So he's going to go Manta, maybe then he goes BKB, I don't know. But like, he's not ready to show up here at all. It's too risky for him to get caught by a Beastmaster ulti or something. So the Wongs at the moment are delayed.
Speaking of Beastmaster ulti, out it comes with the follow-up as well of this Necro ulti. So Nagi going down immediately at the start of this fight. The Beastmaster, once again, proving himself to be extremely, extremely difficult to deal with in this game. And he is closing on that blink. I have seen Corey play this Beastmaster before. He's very greedy on it. He goes to blink. He goes for things like a Bloodthorn early. Be nice to see if they can pull it off this game.
Yeah, he's going to go blink here. Correct item, obviously. He knows what he's doing. I'm decent at it, but I would say he's better than me. But yeah, like, I'm just looking here. Corey should be just setting the tempo from here. Like, Wongs are not ready, and they're not going to be ready for 10 more minutes. You know, they're going to need so many more items. They're going to need the Blink Tiny, which is a few minutes away. They probably need a Pipe on the Timbersaw. They're going to need a BKB on somebody. You know, they're going to need a few items here on Wongs to get going. So it's going to depend on how much pressure No Tormentor can put out on the map as to where they can win this game.
Be interested to see what a shout from Corey truly sounds like. Cool, blimey, those are the wrong electrical sockets or something along those lines. That's how that man shouts. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who gets too vexed to shout too often. But
he doesn't shout at me, but he shouts at other people. Okay. I don't know why. Yeah.
I guess you're just too good, man. The 1.6 imprint Shadow Shop demon is just too good, man. It can't be Why you come for my man Malu's throne? Come on, let the man live.
I asked Punjabi did he shout at him. He said he didn't. So
okay, that's good.
He's nice to Punjabi too.
Everyone has to be nice to Punjabi though. That's like kicking a dog, you know? It's like a little puppy.
Yeah, I asked Punjabi did he say anything. He said he didn't. Unsurprisingly.
Oh my god, that is a scary Beastmaster. 100-0 Shirks here. Now the follow-up as well onto Maniac with that celery stick. It's just too easy for the side of No Tormentor to run over them, and now we're seeing that in terms of this net worth lead, a 4k net worth lead out of nowhere for the side of No Tormentor. Only really this Morphling keeping up from the side of Wongs.
Yeah, as I said, they're just going to pressure so hard on No Tormentor here. Like, they have way too much damage for Wongs to deal with. So Wongs just need to play the map as big as possible and just accept a few deaths, in my opinion.
I meant to mention it. It wasn't brought up at the time. After Maniac died a couple of times, he typed in the chat mode of Voxo. Do you know what that means?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a flame of my Tiny. I don't know. My Tinies are successful lately. But yeah, sometimes even the best players do toss in their allies and kill them. Not myself, of course.
Attempted go there on that bottom lane. We are seeing a missed boat in that fight. More of a zoning boat, if anything, but it does mean that the side of No Tormentor are able to play chill for a little bit with this Aegis still in tow. But now, importantly, they have that shout back up, and you need to be really careful if you are the Morphling here. You did choose to go straight into that Manta, which does make you somewhat susceptible from a big jump from this big Beastmaster. But meanwhile, Tweets on the Ember Spirit, despite a really rough laning stage, is now 1k ahead of the opposing Kunkka.
Yeah, yeah, he's coming back into this pretty comfortably. Like, I just think the 1 and 2 are putting out too much map pressure. So, like, the Ember is just gonna has a free game here to do what he wants, come back in. You know, there's not much pressure coming out from Wongs onto the enemy. Um, but yeah, interesting. Coral is gonna go for the butterfly. I know most morphs would do this, but the game might end if he doesn't have a BKB. The game might just end. You know, maybe he waveforms in, gets caught in one spell, and that's the game over.
Shard picked up here off the back of that Tormentor, and it's the exact shard that you want. You get the Wind Ranger Gale Force really good in terms of offering them some AoE control, which is perhaps something that their lineup struggles with somewhat. So you're laughing all the way to the bank with that one, and it enables them to immediately move up this top lane towards that tier 2 tower, and it melts at these summons coming out from the Beastmaster.
Yeah, the Wind Ranger Shard is just a nice to have thing. It doesn't, you don't notice it really, but it's just nice to have it in a fight, you know?
Seems like a smoke is out here from the Tiny, trying to move up towards this top side of the map. Could be in some trouble if he's caught. Going immediately for the Courier of Punjabi, decides against it. There was a moment there where I believe Maniac, Mr. Moth, considering to chop down that animal, but in the end, deciding it was against his best interest. In the meantime, the Morphling has finished up this Manta. Nice steal there of the Wisdom Rune by Maniac, actually.
Yeah.
With the Morphling next moving into that Butterfly, do we think that's going to make a difference? Does that enable him to start fighting with his team?
I mean, he can kill enemies, but like there's an insane amount of magic damage coming out here. You know, this Necro is just and the Beast. They're just gonna have so much AOE magic damage coming out that I don't know. Is it possible for the Morph to fight even if he gets a Butterfly?
Smoke comes out from no Tormentor. They found Shirks. Shirks looks like he's giving huge trouble. Wants to finish off the camp before he reacts to that gank, it would seem like. And the stun's now raining down on top of this big old timber. But he turns, and now Faith Kian's the one who's in trouble. Does have the use there of that Essence Ring to stay alive, at least temporarily. They will at least lose Faith Kian, but they trade him for Shirks. They do bring Corey and try to respond to this one. But in the end, you're probably happy enough with that one if you're the side of Wongs, especially since during that time, the Aegis did time out for the Beastmaster.
Yeah, Corey does get a solo kill on top as well on Puro while that was going on. But yeah, just to go back to what Moth was doing there, like the solo smoke into pushing out waves, taking an XP rune, like I think that's exactly what they need to do. Even if he got down a ward on the enemy side of the map, just to cut one wave here and there, like that's all they need to do. Just slow this down a few more minutes to get your morph into the game.
Feels like the side of no Tormentor, though, not wanting to take that foot off the pedal, pushing wave after wave into these towers, but not necessarily all inning here. Still 9k up at just 23 minutes. Things looking very good for them, especially with just how fat this Necro is. Necro BKB finished now after that last fight. Looks like an attempted scream there for the Beastmaster, but decides against it at the last minute.
Yeah. What? Fight here.
Oh, jump in onto Faith Kian. He does get off the snowball, so the initial go is all but ruined, but the follow-up, he will go down quite quickly. Essence Ring to stay alive long enough to force a fight here, and in comes the scream from this Beastmaster, doing as much damage as they can on Coral. And Coral's freshly minted items do absolutely nothing for him here. Follow-up as well with this Ember and this Gale Force pushing Maniac out. It's a 3-for-1. You kill off the Tusk, but at what cost, Avoxo? At what cost?
A heavy cost, heavy cost, Mark. He takes so long to kill. I don't know. He just gets the heal ring off and stuff. Like it's just too much. And they even reflect. Oh, another kill, Punjabi.
Hamki goes down, and they're not entirely done. They come to take Shirks as well. Shirks does get the big timber chain off, so he might be able to escape from this one unbruised. But that makes it a 4-for-1 of Oxo, and it makes it a 12k net worth lead for no Tormy.
Yeah, I thought Wongs were like, I was seeing some signs, you know, they were getting a glimmer cape, the pipe wasn't that far away. Like I thought maybe they can survive this pressure, but they just walk into a fight and it takes too long to kill Keen, and yeah, it just goes terribly for them.
Doesn't look like they're done quite yet either, as this Necro is walking into all of them. Hit up there with a lot of damage coming out from that avalanche as well as that big old shotgun. But here is the Beastmaster. Once again, they try to kill off Faith Kian, but he's there with the use of that snowball. And that Essence Ring is literally the most valuable item this game. It feels like 10 times he survived on 1 HP from this Essence Ring. And once again, it's
bad.
taking enough time to build up a lot of damage on the Necro. But the Necro now, being heavily hit with damage, does have that shard, that Death Seeker, which means he's able to jump away from that one. But the axes are starting to channel up. They do get the boat out onto the Necro, but the follow-up with that snowball repositions him, at least for a moment, to try to escape from this one. The Necro is getting very low, and the Necro goes down. Can they finish off the fight thereafter? Corey is going to start chopping through this one, as is Tweets on this Ember Spirit. It's a 2 for 2 so far. Wongs, pretty pleased with that one, I'd say.
Yeah, I didn't know what way that was going. It looked bad for Wongs for a minute, then looks really good. I thought Corey maybe cleans up at the end, but he doesn't. So I think if you're Wongs, you're quite happy with that. Because it wasn't the perfect initiation either, and they somehow draw an even trade and they killed a Necro one time.
I think a lot of that came off the itemization that Wongs have gone for so far. Having things like that Glimmer Cape, having the ability to pop those Guardian Greaves that are ready now on the Timber, the Lotus Orb from the Kunkka. They're trying to create a damage issue, I believe, for the side of No Tormentor, which they kind of can do at this moment. And we saw in that fight, even with these long survival fights, Wongs don't necessarily hate that too much with the Morphling, but they do end up giving away the tower in order to do so.
Yeah, and the pipe is close on the Timber. Like, the pipe, it changes these fights a lot. You know, if it's 1,000 extra effective HP in a fight, you know, that's a lot. And they're going double Shivas here on the Beast and on the Necro. Maybe they just don't communicate it to each other. Maybe they don't talk to each other in the game. I don't know. But yeah.
They're having a race to see who will get to it first. I'm going to posit that it'll probably be Corey. But if they both pick it up, that will be fun for all of the community to watch. Because that is one of the few ways in which they can nullify this net worth lead, is by doubling up on items. To be honest, I'm surprised we haven't seen, the double Ember, the Radiance Ember coming out this game, the double burn.
Yeah. Now the Ember seems to be getting a pretty free fight here, doesn't he? Like, they're dropping all their spells on the Necro to stop him from getting around.
Roshan now being attempted for the side of No Tormentor. Just the Beastmaster seems like it's all they're going to need in order to be able to take this one, doing so much damage coming out here from Mr. Corey. They do now also move in a couple more heroes to make this more effective, but there is a smoke coming out from the side of Wong's Bakery. They do know this is going on. Roshan has roared. Can they get
Corey's
in
low.
this Tiny? They can. They have the blink as well, ready to go on the Tiny. Can he steal this one? An attempted steal, but he's just a second too late here on Maniac, which means that he has chopped before this fight has even started. And that means that this is a no-bones fight for the side of Wong's Bakery. Would you call that a Voxo Tiny moment?
No, come on. Like, they were almost on time. Maybe they just got scared. Like, if they had it went even 1 or 2 seconds earlier, they actually probably win that fight, because Corey is so low in a bit.
Yeah, extremely close one. But with that, they also managed to steal that Wisdom Room, get their level 18 on Ember as well, that 3rd level in the Fire Remnants. Very nice to pick up in terms of their damage they can pop off in these fights. That's another tower, the last outer tower for the side of Wong's. 15k net worth lead right now, 28 minutes into this game. No Tormentor are climbing the stairs of this base, and they don't feel like they'll be dissuaded anytime soon.
Yeah, this is their go time. They have everything they need here to win this game. The pipe does come out, though.
Pipe is out. That could make a difference in this fight, but that is the tower down, the tier 3, almost immediately. It looks like the barracks, not long for this world either. Attempted use there of the Macro Power and the Ice Path, but they do-si-do around it. It does split this fight somewhat into 2, which may enable a go onto the Necro, but the Necro pops that BKB. So much damage. That Gale Force doing so much work as well in terms of repositioning these heroes. They are able to chop down the Shirk's Timber at the start of this fight. Meanwhile, Corey, one-man armying in these backlines with the stuns being pumped up from Punjabi, as well as this Focus Fire now. Tweets in the backline able to finish off Lunatic and get the double root out. That level 3 ulti, all this damage. Tweets from such a bad laning stage is able to pull back a ginormous fight. They kill all 4 of them. It's a triple buyback, a dieback on the Tiny, and they're not done quite yet. It might be a secondary dieback with this Kunkka being pushed back by this Gale Force, and indeed it is. Ultra kill for Tweets on this Ember Spirit. That might be all she wrote about, so. And GG is called by Wongs.
It is. Because Corey blinks in, roars the morph. He gets a reflected Lotus Orb roar, and they have some follow-up on Corey, but they don't focus him down. They don't... Like, I just watched him the entire fight. He's stunned for 5 or 6 seconds, and they don't do any damage to him. And, yeah.
Corey drops in the all chat, Sky diff at the end of the game. My poor boy Edward taking some fucking strays at the end of this game. You can tell the side of No Tormentor are feeding themselves after this one, but Wongs, a team who I've seen in the past, are very able to adapt in a best of 2 series. Folks, we have another game between these two teams coming up in just a few minutes. We'll see you soon for that one. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, we are live with our second game of this best of two series taking place between Wong's Bakery and No Tormentor. Game one, a very decisive victory for the side of No Tormentor, despite what we thought might be an unfavorable draft. I'm Running taking through this one with a Voxo and the incredible Anti on the OBS. Looking into these early bans, once again, the Viper and the Largo taken out immediately, but potentially letting through the Razor this time, which feels like the kind of thing that Wongs would play.
Yeah, they have first pick on No Tormentor this time, so maybe they won't think the Razor themselves.
They banned it out. I couldn't see Corey playing that. Doesn't feel like him.
I'm trying to think, did I play with Razor, Corey Razor? I think maybe I did, or maybe I've seen him playing it, but yeah, it doesn't feel like the kind of thing he would want to do. You know, he strictly seems to be melee stunner or summon. They're like the two things.
He is truly a stunner, such a hefty, handsome boy. The next bang out from the side of Wong's Bakery is the Tree and Protector. You mentioned that as probably the second best support of the patch. The Warlock ban, probably the best support of the patch. And then the ban on the Beastmaster this time.
Yeah, Beastmaster gets put in there. I don't know, would I ban it? Like, because he can play a lot of stuff, so I think I would rather take my chances of keeping these supports off what they want. Okay, they do Slardar as well, so they leave the Shadow Demon here for Punjabi.
I was going to say Punjabi Shadow Demon almost certainly what we're going to see up here. Or failing that, they might once again go for that strategy of picking the Tusk, not enabling Mr. Lunatic to be on any comfort hero. I mean, I don't think we've seen him win a game yet on the Tiny. They actually pick up the Wind Ranger. To be fair, Punjabi was looking good on it previously.
Lunatic Tiny. I mean, he's top meta Voxo Tiny. At least I win when I pick him.
Yeah, I mean, better to feed and win than lose and feed. What can we say? Yeah. The Jackro pick once again for Wong's Bakery. Do we think we'll see Twin Terror this game? We got some intel. Our observer is a keen Wong's ally and have told us that Kamki is somewhat susceptible to clicking the wrong facet before a game. So we'll have to wait and see if we see Twin Terror this game.
Yeah, it didn't make much of a difference. I mean, I don't think, but yeah. But interesting that they both take the same first pick here. Well, I mean, Wind Ranger gets moved up instead of Tusk, but they go Wind Ranger Jakiro opening again. Like,
yeah, especially with this next pick being for Wongs. They banned the Ursa again, which I don't know. I just feel like Torme is really good on Ursa, and I don't know why they want to ban Sorry. I guess it makes sense in opening up Corey's pool, like you said, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Is like all of Corey's pool is just going to get countered by an Ursa, or like a lot of it is, you know.
Indeed, waiting on this next ban out from the side of the Radiant for this big O team. Oh, look, they forgot to name their team because Faith Kian didn't want an imprint score this time. He's so upset by that 40 that he pulled last game, falling under the Koro Morphling, that they just choose not to name their team. Somewhere in a shed in Longford, Patter is throwing his keyboard at the wall at the fact that they didn't name themselves.
He has to manually do it. Imagine the 10 seconds it takes to manually enter this every time.
You ever see like that meme of like it's Jimmy Neutron's dad at the computer? That's Patter just like entering in all the imprint scores manually. The next ban for the Radiant is the Brewmaster ban. Haven't seen Shirks try this out too much, but it is extremely good. And I think underrated offlaner in the current patch.
Yeah, he picked against us the other day. We were considering picking it as well. We didn't think he played it, so we were surprised when they took it.
Wongs once again banning out the Ember, not allowing it through, and they picked the Tusk themselves. I mean, it was always going to be a battle of who gets Tusk first. I'm interested to see what Faith Kian goes on to now. I mean, thinking through his pool, I know this bald man very well. I've played with him quite a few times. His pool is quite diverse. What kind of heroes do you think are good here? I mean, the Largo is banned. The Warlock is banned. The Tree is banned. What do you think we're going to see Faith Kian on this game?
I mean, the Shadow Demon is still in the pool. I don't know, would they do the Wind Ranger 5 or would Keen play the Shadow Demon, but I'd be surprised like to ignore this hero the entire way through. But if not that, like maybe just something like an Ogre that'll just stand there against a Tusk where Tusk can't really kill it.
I was thinking Ogre. They actually go for the early pick on the Tide instead, favoring out that pause 3. In terms of what Faith Kian plays that's still in the pool, I mean, The Shaman is still available, not amazing into Tusk, but still a decent pick out, which I wouldn't be surprised to see them take. Faith Can does massively rate this hero, and he is drafting this game.
Mm-hmm.
Other heroes that are available that he could pick up, I would love to see him go down the route of picking something that can actually deal with the Jakiro in lane, output a lot of damage, maybe a Pugna potentially we could be seeing here.
Does he play Pugna?
He does, quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I blind picked a Pugna at this stage, and I felt really bad to blind pick the Pugna without seeing more.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so good. When you're good, you're good. Come on, Voxel. When you're good, you're good. When you're good,
Well,
you're
then
good.
I have to double down. I hate this Pugna pick. I have to double down.
Jackro can kill the ward quickly. I mean, if he decides to put up 4
he
Jackro.
can. But yeah, I blind picked this Pugna after seeing 2 supports, and I think they picked a Muerta into us or something, and it just made the crap absolutely useless. So yeah, we'll see how Wongs want to counter this. Maybe they want to do the Muerta themselves.
Koro does play the Morta, and what I'm thinking more in terms of Wongs is I think they want something more explosive for Nagi. I think we might see something like the Void Spirit, or potentially I would love to see a Nagi Invoker this game when you see those setups of the Jackro and the Tusk with that Sunstrike. It's a tried and true combo that's worked for Wongs in the past.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the Muerta will be gone if they don't pick it on these 2 picks. Or the Void Spirit will be gone. So if they want to pick either of those, they should pick those here, because they're not going to be left over after the bans. Like the Muerta is quite good on the Tide as well because it ignores the Kraken Shell when she ulties, I think. So it's definitely like a strong consideration, I think. But as for what else, like I'm not seeing an offline pick here that I would like for Wongs yet. So I would probably take the Void Spirit Muerta or Muerta +1.
The one nice thing about this Pugna pick is that it means that Wongs can't just lock in the tried and true Shirk's Timber. I feel like Timber gets bodied so hard by Pugna that they just aren't going to be willing to run it this game. So I quite like that in terms of draft strategy coming out here from the side of No Tormy or the Radiant that they've chosen to be named this game. But other Wong's heroes, other Shirk's heroes, the Mars is potentially something that I thought about, the Darkseer, and there is the Darkseer pick with the Tusk.
Okay, Darkseer. It's a hero that's probably going to get more popular. I'm surprised it didn't come back straight away when it got +1 armor, considering the patch that it is with all the auras and stuff. But yeah, like Pugna, it's not very good on the Darkseer. Like you can't stop him running away. Okay, Darkseer Invoker.
When you're right, Voxo. I said beforehand, we had a little bit of a talk in the green room between games. I said that one of the advantages that the side of No Tormy has is that they've played so many games against Wongs, and I've cast so many Wongs games that I said before this game, I think we're going to see a big Nagi on this Invoker this game, especially with that Tusk and Jackro set up, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, it's pretty good at the Tide, but like Pugna is going to hurt him a little bit as well. Leshrac picked up.
That's going to hurt him. What do we think about this Lesh pick?
I mean, I would imagine Invoker should beat a Lesh on mid. Like I would assume, if it's Exort Invoker, and you can also kind of escape from the Leshrac with a Tornado. I mean, I don't know what level they take Tornado at on the Exort Invoker, but I'm not that sold on it personally. Like Tusk, you can snowball into the Leshrac and waste out his Diabolic Edict. And Jakiro is also decent into the hero. So I'm not that hot on the Leshrac pick personally.
We're going to have to wait and see. I mean, we saw last game Tweets was able to pick back off a really good game off the back of a disastrous lane, but I think that Wongs have set themselves up where there's going to be a lot of Sunstrike kill potential here with the Vacuum, with the Ice Path, with the Tusk, that I definitely prefer the Wongs draft myself this game, and they ban out the Muerta on the side of No Tormy facing into this last bit of the draft.
Yeah, the Muerta gone. Yeah, hard to tell what kind of carry Wongs can go for here. I think it has to be like a melee, maybe having some disable, a Sven.
I was going to say the Coral Sven is a tried and true combo they like with this Darkseer as well, being able to get the Vacuum into those Storehammers
that's what I was thinking.
with that Cleave and the Invoker spells coming out on top.
The Pugna is decent at both of those heroes, though. So, but yeah, I think they need a little bit of disable because Darkseer and Invoker aren't really bringing it. You just need a little bit.
In terms of what cores can offer that right now, I mean, one that's got through that I'm interested in seeing, the Luna and the Gyro. The Gyro gets banned out. The Shadow Demon is the last pick for the Radiant, actually. So it looks like the Windy is going to be a pause 1.
Yeah, carry Wind Ranger for Shadow Demon. Yeah, I was surprised the Shadow Demon got all the way through, but yeah, nice drafting. But I'm not sure how good the Wind Ranger is this game on core. I mean, depends what carry gets picked here.
Feels like there's a lot of lockdown for her here, right? With that Tusk, with that Jackro, it's kind of a tough, windy game here to a certain extent. Going into the last bit here, all of that reserve time, I do still feel like even with that Shadow Demon, even with that Pugna being able to decrypt, the Coral Sven is still calling my name. Alternatively, you have the Shadow Fiend still available. Oh, Shadow Fiend banned out last in that pool, actually. Good call there from the side of No Torment. I was going to say, with that Darkseer being able to get those Requiems with that wall combo would have been pretty nasty. Other heroes that he plays are still available. The Monkey King was exactly what I was going to call. The Juggernaut is still available into the Pugna as well, which I wouldn't hate to see. It's the Faceless Void.
Yeah, I thought that, but I'm not sure about that lane. Tide on there in the Faceless Void, it sounds extremely Tide favorite for me.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily expecting Tide plus Shadow Demon into Faceless Void plus Jackro, and he is still going Icebreaker.
Okay. Invoker going Wex build here, not Exort.
That's traditionally what he does go for on Nagi, so I'm not massively surprised. But I thought maybe with the setups of these Sunstrikes that he might go for the Exort play. Yeah, I mean, they have the Wombo combo with the Faceless Void Invoker.
That's your hope. That is your hope. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm thinking Tide into Void. You're like so happy if you're Tide because there's no pressure that the Void can put on you, and eventually you're going to force the Void out of the lane. So you're kind of picking a losing lane there on your last pick. From the way I imagine this should play out, which is not what you want to be doing. Just in the hope that you hit a big chrono.
The one that can be said is that at least this offlane should be a little bit more secure for the side of Wongs. I mean, something we were talking about in the green room before this game was just the fact that Wongs have found it difficult to win these offlanes with Shirks on the Timber almost every game. I mean, with this Darkseer and Tusk, it feels a lot easier. Let's see how this game goes, guys. Once again, this is game 2 of a best of 2. Game 1 going to the side of No Tormentor between Wong's Bakery and No Tormy. Runtel, Avoxo, and Auntie taking you through this one. Let's get ready to rumble between these two teams right now. Seems like the side of Wongs want to go for a 5-man smoke play. I kind of favor the level 1 of the Tormy boys, though.
Yeah, I agree. Invoker, Void don't really bring that much.
Yeah, especially since you have things like that level 1 Anchor Smash if you do choose to get it, or that level 1 Gush. It's a lot of kill opportunity here if it's played incorrectly, but Wong's moving very quickly towards that area this time, whereas No Tormy kind of coalescing around this middle area. They do pop a smoke of their own. They are moving in towards these Wong's heroes. It seems like a go. Oh, they're on the low ground as well. They catch out the Leshrac up Shit Creek without a paddle. Going to be in some trouble here. Hit up with those shards, but walks away from the most immediately there afterwards. Follow up as well with the damage. Faith Kian catches a 5-man use of that big ol' Q, which means that Corey gets first blood. We mentioned the fact this lane can't go well for Corey, and he's just got a bit of gold going into it.
Yeah. Another thing to note, the Leshrac has gone. This is what more frequent Leshracs are doing. The Chronoptic Nursement, kill on bottom actually.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a kill on this bottom lane onto this Jackro. Jackro being hit up with so much damage. And down he goes. A nice free kill there.
I'm so Dota pill, bro. I'm just straight up Valve maxing.
Okay. The dog is barking.
Indeed. And as we know, unless you're playing into Onyx, When the dog is there, you must answer the call. I'm going to put a quick bet on for our viewers real quick, if that's okay. So if you could yap for a bit, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, so what I was going to say was the more Leshreks are going for this other facet where you can still do Diabolic Edict damage to towers. So there is the possibility where they just start pushing these towers extremely quickly with the Pugna and the Leshrac Diabolic Edict. I mean, they're the two best spells in the game for pushing towers. And then the Invoker went back for the Exort build and not the Wex build. I thought Wex might be better into Leshrac, just consistently mana draining him, stopping him from moving around the map. But he does go with the Exort build for obviously the Aghanims with the Chrono.
What do you make of the decision of the Jackro to once again go into that Icebreaker? Do you think with that Invoker that it's more valid, or?
I don't know what he's thinking. He goes Jewel Breath here. Maybe that was for the first blood, but that was how I understood why you would go Icebreaker, is that you weren't banking on your Liquid Fire. You were going to take 1 point Liquid Fire and then just max your Jewel Breath after or something. That was why I thought people were doing this, but maybe he has a different understanding of it.
Seems like a potential go out here onto Faith Kyan, taking a lot of right clicks out from this Tusk. It seems like he's going to be able to just walk away from this one here on the Pugna, so not too bothered, all things considered, in this laning stage. These Ion Shells proving themselves to be tricky in these early stages. Wedorne is able to last hit that one, which means that he is no longer bothered by it necessarily, but something that's been mentioned in chat a bit is that this Tidehunter has a pretty free game so far.
Yeah, he's just going to have a free lane on this top lane. They just don't have enough damage to ever bring him down because Void can never really hit him, especially once he gets Kraken Shells up. Sweet's just about survives. Just about.
Sweets almost goes down there from the pressure from this Invoker, and then comes the Sunstrike. The Sunstrike unfortunately does not connect this time, so not able to get that free kill out onto the Leshrac that would have really steamrolled this lane. And now the Leshrac is the one placing on a bit of pressure onto the Invoker instead, so the Invoker forced to walk back, but in comes a stun coming out from the Wind Ranger. Wedorme with a really nice shackle at the start of this lane, and Faith Kyan's right clicks raining down onto the side of Wong's Bakery.
The Shirk's taking heavy damage down here, and the Wind Ranger is 11 CS to Shirk's 3, which is quite bad. I didn't think it would be this Wind Ranger favored. Like, you don't have a way of nuking out the creeps just to kill the Ion Shot other than right-clicking, because you're not going to take your power shot, you know? So I thought it might be decent for the Darkseer.
A potential attempt at a go here on this top lane, but once again, this Tidehunter just too tanky to care about the goes from this Jackro. Able to use that Blubber innate to be able to purge off that Liquid Frost that was put upon him there as well. So far, so good for the side of No Torment. It's worth noting this mid lane has been quite diabolical indeed for this Invoker. Bottom lane, as we said, both games a point of contention for the side of Wong's Bakery. The right clicks raining down Fitcan once again onto both heroes. Yeah, he's doing good. Might get a 50 imprint score here if he's lucky.
Yeah.
Go now onto this Jackro. The Jackro is looking pretty damn dead. Indeed, down he goes. Followed as well with the banish from the Shadow Demon. Means the Faceless Void will be able to steal that fruit, though, which is very important in terms of Corey's ability to get back into this game, especially since Corey's courier goes down, as does Faith Kyan with 2 wards, a Blood Grenade, a Windlace, as well as a Salve. And in the meantime, they kill off Wetorme. So this bottom lane all of a sudden going a little bit better for the side of Wong's Bakery. One more right click. Can he get it? Doesn't look like he can here. Oh, but maybe he gets Jerks. He has the wand.
Yeah. Yeah, Keen is playing this Pokemon really well. I mean, this is the one great thing with the hero is you trade so much better than most other 5s in the game because you have so much range. Your right click is pretty good. You move around fast, so you just keep hitting as much as you can.
And hitting is what he does. They try to put some pressure here out onto the Tidehunter, but the Tidehunter so tanky, does not need to care about this one necessarily. And once again, it feels like they've set up a Corey for quite a nice lane.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, he's low here now. He just needs to get his Kraken Shell on level 4, and then his lane should be good.
Meanwhile, though, looks like Shirk's in some trouble here, getting hit with the right clicks. He's just back to lane, and he's just back to about 100 HP as soon as he's back. I mean, it just feels like almost an impossibility. They get the double kill, but it doesn't necessarily that single kill on the bottom lane, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to do enough to pressure out the side of No Torment.
Both of these side lanes are going so well, and then the mid lane as well is going so well for No Tormentor.
Yeah, look at that, 23-6 into the 12-2.
Yeah, the Void is getting a bit, to be fair, but that will end in 2 or 3 minutes when the Tidehunter gets his levels.
Indeed it will, and now the Leshrac able to play behind the tower almost, and will start pressuring it out with this Diabolic Edict, which is up and ready to go. We want to start pressuring in onto this tower, back towards this top lane. As we said, it's the one lane that Wongs are feeling pretty comfy in, but this bot lane is looking a little bit more difficult. Actually, something that's worth noting with Torme trying to make a go here onto this big old Darkseer. The blast coming out from the Pugna is just enough to pressure him out. He gets the regen from his innate, but God, is it going to be enough?
Yeah, they need to... I don't know, they can't keep doing this on the lane. They're just taking too much trade damage every time they step up. The Pugnas keep dropping a Q and right-clicking them twice, and so is the Wind Ranger.
I mean, we're on this top lane. Corey is having a party, backstroking his way through the lane, dropping those taunts as often as he can. And now he gets off the use of that Gush. A lot of damage coming out onto this Jackro. Doesn't feel like it's going to be enough to get a kill, but in this bot lane, once again, the most that this Darkseer can do is try to contest some pulls, but it doesn't feel like it's enough. And Faith Kian moves into this mid lane, recognizing that this could be important, as does the Shadow Demon, actually. Could be a kill brewing here for the side of No Torme, but good positioning from Nagi means they don't quite get it yet.
It might be a bit forced there for Radiant. Like, they're fine sitting in their sidelines and continuing the game as it is, you know? Like, I'm looking at this Jakiro here. Maybe he should move because, Corey's going to have the blubber if he puts a Q on him and stuff.
Go here now. The banish is out onto this Invoker. This Invoker is dead. I mean, you have a Jackro teaming in, but it's going to do so little, especially because that ward is up, which now means Faith Kian instead might just get a bonus kill for his pleasure. He doesn't have that slow up quite yet, but the right clicks are raining in down onto Kamki, as is that Nether Blast, and Faith Kian with the double kill coming out of that bottom lane in flying form.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually so bad for the Jakiro in, like, his game. Because they know that they're setting up onto the Invoker. Like, they can see it. It's obvious for at least 30 seconds, and then Jakiro does eventually get forced to TP in, and he just dies. He's going to have to limp back the lane, but the tide is too big now. He can't play the top lane anymore. He's absolutely useless, so he has to go over to the bottom lane on Jakiro, I think.
Indeed, gonna see if they can make some big plays happen in this bottom lane, but instead it's Shirks who's almost kicked down by Faith Kian, forced to use the surge there to run. Is the right click enough? It's not quite enough. Out comes that last little green goblin right click, but he drops a ward on this Maniac Tusk and it's just chopped down immediately. Dojem, says Lunatic, and oh, did I do that, says Faith Kian. I think there's no love lost between these two, if I'm being honest, Mr. Vox. I think both these guys might have a bit of a score to settle, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, Keen seems to take a big beating from Wongs in particular in the last few seasons, so maybe he's happy to finally be getting one over.
I mean, I know Faith Kian. He is a proudy boy. They are making a go here out onto the winner, but beautiful shackles coming out from my Torme there means that he is pretty damn safe to protect that one. And look at the damage with the level 3 in that Nether Blast now. It's just so scary, and Maniac has just not found a way into this game on this Tusk.
No.
Oh
it's
no.
Gonna die here as well.
Oh no. Maybe dies, maybe kills. Guys.
This is on the queue as well. Kamki on bottom now.
Faith Kian's probably going down here. The Ice Path is there with the Ice Path fast as well, so the double damage is there, and it seems like he's going to go down, but he has the life drain.
My
no!
God. These lanes are like an absolute disaster for Wongs. Like, way worse than I think they thought. I mean, maybe they should have swapped lanes, because these just were not playable. Like, there's too much harass coming out continuously, even up to now on the winner and Pugna. They hit this Darkseer and he can't play the game.
They might take out the Pugna here, but he has the use there of that Siphon They do kill off the Pugna, but they have to rotate 3 heroes in order to do so, which means their mid is left fairly uncontested. They do make it go now onto Punjabi. Punjabi has the use there of that dispersion to put himself into the bubble and clear off any of the damage the Invoker has. And now it's the mid tower that's going to be in damage, or the mid laner indeed, as Tweets comes in on this Leshrac. But all the meantime, a hero we haven't talked a whole ton about is this Tidehunter, who's getting bigger and bigger by the moment. 4.5k dive under the tower onto this Wind Ranger, but this heals coming out of Faith Kian means the Wind Ranger is kept alive. Beautiful play there by the Pugna. Stops that go in its place. Here comes the Chronosphere, and he's not there in time with Faith Kian to keep him alive. He tries to keep alive his own Shadow Demon, but now it's 2 down this bottom lane. Make that almost 3 as he does to avoid that wall. He is still going to go down, it seems like, but he's going to do a lot of damage before he does so. A double kill for Shirks and a much needed run of play for the side of Wong's Bakery.
Yeah, that's so good for them. Like, really good rotation from Coral through the portal. They needed to break this game up because they were just losing harder and harder every minute that game stayed the way it was. And the Dark's here now. He recovers his game really hard. He should be fine at farming his way back in here. Coral gets a bit of gold as well.
The Tidehunter now TPing in. Does have the Ravage ready to go if he wants to use it. Seems like Corey though is going to plonk his fat ass in the middle of this lane. Just farm up these creeps. He's pretty hard to kill. And he's going, it looks like, for the big use of that Vlad's first here on the Tidehunter, rather than the straight rush of the Aghanim Scepter that we've seen for players like Sky so far.
Players like Sky.
He likes the Axe Rush.
Is he our benchmark?
He likes. Hey, listen, he might have the ancient Irish gypsy curse on him, but he is a big fan of the Axe Rush.
Yeah. Tweet's taking a bit of damage here. Yeah, no, Corey does like going for the Vlad. Anytime I've played with him, he goes to Vlad's side, I think. Then he maybe swaps it up after the Vlad's, but yeah.
Lunatic is able to deny out that tower, at least in the end. They do lose that mid tower, but at minimal cost themselves, so they're probably okay with this. But once again, I gotta speak on just how big this Tidehunter is. 5.7k, 1.2k ahead of Shirks on this little tiny Darkseer. Now, if the two of them are placed in lane against each other, I feel like over time the Darkseer is just more effective at farming, especially with that Axe Rush. But I don't know, I don't think they're using their Tidehunter to the best of its ability yet.
Yeah, like, it's hard for Radiant to get some momentum going here. They can't really close the gap, and there's like a lot of separation from Jakiro and Invoker. They're good at keeping you off of them, but they're going to smoke here.
Here comes the smoke coming out from the side of No Tormentor. It's a free kill onto this Tusk, but they need at least one more if they're going to make it worthwhile. The Banish comes out. It's onto the Faceless Void, but the Faceless Void is just able to use that Time Walk immediately there afterwards. That's one of the hero we haven't talked too much about. The Faceless Void went for the Hand of Midas into the Maelstrom.
Yeah, Midas is very unusual at the moment. Like, nobody's banning this on any core. It's just grief that I do sometimes when I feel like grief in a game. But he's got like a lot more net worth than I thought he would get out of that top lane. I thought Corey would pressure him out a little bit more, but his game is quite good, which it needs to be.
Yeah, it feels like he might be the saving grace for this out of Wongs. There is so much they can drop in on top of that Chronosphere with the Invoker spells and the Jackrow spells. They are setting themselves up in, I think, a much better position than the previous game, despite still being behind. But the question, once again, is Corey on this Tide, 7.8k net worth. They are rotating 4 heroes towards this top lane now to try and deal with him. The Shadow Demon is behind him. He does have the Ravage up as well. He spots the 3 heroes. Does he pop the Ravage straight away? He might just, to try and deal with all of this pressure. Out comes the Faceless Void Chrono, but the follow-up with the damage from both the Invoker as well as this Jackrow, but it's not enough with the heals coming off of Faith Kian as well as the disruption. They actually keep the Tidehunter alive somehow, and instead now it's the Faceless Void who goes down with a follow-up kill that comes down onto the Tusk. Beautiful support play there from No Tormentor.
Yeah, it was just really good positioning. Like, Wongs had the right idea. They didn't want to press that Chrono, and then eventually you just get forced into it. Like, Corey just separates himself in between his team and everybody else, and then They have either a Shadow Demon or a Pugna to help him eventually when he starts to get low. So it was really hard for Wongs to take that fight, just the way the positions were.
And in the meantime, we do actually get a steal on the Shrine from Tweets on this Leshrac. Steals it for himself. A really nice one for him to pick up. Oh, hang on. There's a lot of couriers going down with Tormentor taking out Shirx's and Kamki taking out Tweets's. So no doubt some important items sitting on those couriers, but the double bit of that wisdom. Hang on, walk into the ice path from this Leshrac, and now a little bit of a block on Punjabi. They are still surely going to kill off Kamki here, as one or two more right clicks rain down onto the Jacaro. The speed of the Leshrac. It is taking a while, but he is going to go down, and Torme is able to get that kill.
Yeah, 5,000 net worth leader now. It is pretty significant. And Corey almost has a pipe. He's going to have a pipe and 1,000 gold. They can really take a big team fight with that if they want at a tower.
They do also have the Maelstrom finished up now on the Wind Ranger, which means her damage is going to become significantly higher. She's actually, it looks like, building into the Mjolnir first before she goes into that BKB.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I don't really play as Wind Ranger even on support that much, so I don't know. Do everybody go Mjolnir? But yeah, I'm sure it's fine. He's better than I am.
Torme is a clever boy.
Yeah. I think the crucial kind of thing here that we're not talking about that much is just the heals from Keen. Like, it's so hard to... If you let a Pugna just heal in a fight, he will keep any one person alive for a long, long time. Like,
one can
really
only dream that the imprint algorithm rates heals quite quickly to stop this boy from molding.
Yeah, the big balls suck.
Go here onto Torme. A lot of damage onto him as well. Trying to do what they can to finish off the Wind Ranger, and that's a great pick for the side of Wong's Bakery. Corey trying to do what he can to get a follow-up onto this Maniac Tusk, and it feels like they can, but he TPs away, recognize the fact they've used it. He just fucking pops the Ravage. He says, Moth, see you later, buddy. But in the meantime, damage comes out onto this Leshrac, but beautiful heal play once again from Faith Kian. I mentioned before he's been practicing this Pugna, but God, he's felt really strong so far this game.
Yeah, he does, and they're not doing a very good job on Wongs of focusing him down when he is in these fights. I mean, maybe his positioning is just very good. I think it is so far. But he's the absolute #1 hero that I would probably want to take out.
Speaking of #1, Nagy looking like he's up shit creek. They do manage to get all the nice use there of the Sunstrike, but once again, Faithcam with the heal, but a ginormous tornado into the follow-up with the Meteor Hammer on the Invoker. What?
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. I don't know.
The Midas Meteor. Is that the first time we've seen, like, you know, a Meteor Hammer first Invoker in a number of years, surely?
I haven't seen this. I have not seen this. But yeah, this game is going a lot better for Wongs, I think. Like, they're not able to move around the map very quickly on Radiant. Like, Tide doesn't have a Blink Dagger. They don't have any mobility on Wind Ranger apart from sprints. They don't have a Blink Dagger on Leshrac. So they can't really pressure this game out very well, other than just sitting in these lanes and forcing them in. So Wongs are going to get time, and if they get time, the Void can just, take every 2 minutes, use his chrono for a kill.
The Tide is going to start building into that shard soon, so really not preferencing that Ags build up yet here on Corey. I suppose when you're this far ahead, you don't need to build a recovery item. 10k net worth right now in this Tide. Still fairly untouched, but not touching the enemies as much as perhaps we'd like to see so far.
No, but it's just not very easy. Like, Wongs are doing a good job at the moment of splitting the map. King goes down.
Yeah, Faith Kian down at this bottom lane. Nice use there of the Tusk plus Invoker combo that we mentioned at the start. It's just a guaranteed Sunstrike anytime they try to do that.
Yeah, I'm not worried for Radiant yet, but their advantages are slipping. Like, this Tide is so big. He's got a pipe. He's got Vlads. He's got a shard. Like, I feel like they need to find a way to take a fight. If they get the anchor on... What's that?
Their net worth advantage is halved in the last 5 minutes. They were at 6k, they're now at 3.
Yeah, and it's going into the Void. I mean, traditionally a slow farmer. He has a Midas. He has a Maelstrom. Like, he's going to be so strong this game. They have the combo here. I know it's not the best Darkseer game with illusions. Tormentor gets a solo.
Indeed he does, and it's out onto the Jackro, which now means the rest of his team are willing to go a little bit more aggressively, hunt down these ancient creeps. They aren't going to catch out the Faceless Void. Too much maneuverability for them at this point of the game, but importantly, the Tide does pick up the Shard in the meantime, so the Anchor is ready to lock down that Void for future fights, and with the choice of that Nourishment facet on the Leshrac, they are able to make quick work of this tower, especially with the follow-up damage coming off from that Pug now.
Yeah, that's a better play. Like, just force down the towers if they don't want to fight you. You can do it so quickly, you know. But I think they're waiting on Radiant here. Like, they just need a Blink Dagger so everything can be ready to go. They're gonna go top and take Tormentor, and then probably just wait the Corey Blink Dagger, which will only be 3 or 4 minutes away from here.
In terms of what you want out of this Torm, I mean, it's likely going to be between the Pugna and the Wind. You probably want it on the Wind, right?
Fight here? They're going through Portal?
Uh-oh, passport issues moment. They have a Ravage here, folks. This is looking kind of scary. Can't be dead with no spells placed. Follow up as well onto Maniac on the Tusk. Maniac looking 100-0 by Faith Kian. In the meantime, Shirks goes down, drops a wall, but as useful as a wall in West Berlin in 1999. And the follow-up is going now onto this Tusk as well. The Tusk gonna snowball to death. It's not gonna do anything here in terms of keeping this fight alive, and it's a triple kill for Tweets and a Tormentor to follow immediately thereafter. No Tormentor going against their own namesake, and indeed gaining back lane supremacy from a fight at the Floating Cube.
Oh! Sunstrike? Oh, he gets it. Very good play.
Beautiful.
Yeah, okay, that recovers the misplay quite significantly. But yeah, did they not scan before going through? I mean, it's pretty dodgy, like going through a portal at exactly 20 minutes when you don't see any enemies on the map.
It's a passport issues moment, baby. I mean, we saw this in just a few games ago in Division 3. All 5 passport.
This is Division 1, Mark. This is Division 1. We don't do that here.
Division 1 is just the Marks and Spencers of Division 3, you know. You guys might have the Melted Little Chocolate Pudding, but we have the Tesco finest chocolate sponge entity. And although the fact you guys think a bit more than we do, moments like that shows that we're not all that different in the end. I mean, me and your mid laner have pretty similar imprint scores.
Yeah, but those imprint scores, there's something wrong with them, so I wouldn't look into it so much.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. PK in chat said that there's going to be -20 for not setting the team this game, so Fityan could be looking at another low one this game.
Yes. Where will that leave him overall? Will that put him in that bottom half?
Your own boy, where he says that the Meteor Hammer Invoker is pretty normal on Quas Facet.
He always tells me these things, and I say I don't see him in my games. So if I'm not seeing him in my games, then I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, you can't trust the Danish, can you?
No, he's telling me about like Brewmaster and Gez, and I just tell him I don't see them in my games.
Yeah. Roshan is taken by the side of but here comes the Aghanim Scepter. And look at the damage to Corey. Corey goes down. Follow up as well with the Wind Ranger, as well as the use of the Vacuum. It's a triple kill for Coral. Makes that an Ultra as they also kill off this big old Punjabi Shadow Demon. Can they get the Rampage onto Coral? It looks like they might be able to. Oh, Shirks!
Wow. They don't respect it. Maybe they don't see that he has the Ags Invoker at that point. Maybe he hides it, I don't know. And then Tweets just walks into the Chrono.
Yeah, it's we mentioned beforehand we didn't love the Wind Ranger Pause 1. We haven't seen a whole lot from it so far, and for it to make its big stage debut there of sorts, it doesn't feel like it's what the side of No Tormy need, and all of a sudden we're back to a 2k net worth lead.
Yeah, I think this game is favoring Wongs quite a bit at this point. Like it's a much easier game to play from here, you know, with a Chrono, Ags. You got your Jakiro ready. You know, that's just so much more easy to execute than whatever No Tormentor are trying to do.
I mean, we've been praising the positioning of the No Tormentor supports all game, talking about the fact that every time there's a Chronosphere, there's either a disruption or the use of that ethereal form coming out from the Pugna, but that fight, it just wasn't there, and instead, okay, hang on, kill on Shirks here potentially, does get the
Should be
TP
dead.
off, but is still going to go down, so a conciliary kill there for this Windranger, and an important one for him to pick up. Might stem the bleeding a little bit there in terms of enabling them to go aggressively towards this last outermost tower for the side of Wong's Bakery. It's worth noting Wong's only taken 2 towers thus far.
Yeah, so somebody on radio just tell them no chrono, just go force the tower and then back up. They can't fight us, so it should be free. I wouldn't expect Wongs to contest this. 25 on the chrono, maybe. But I'm worried for this Windranger. Like, how is she going to itemize? She's going BKB next, then a Dragonlance. Like, what if this Windranger gets caught in a chrono? Does she just die every single time? Is that all that's required here for Wongs to win the game? Just chrono Windranger every time?
I guess it comes down to whether or not she can press that Rin run fast enough. But even then, the Faceless Void with that Maelstrom and that build up of the Hand of Midas, he can go a little bit earlier into this Manta plus MKB build that we see so often into these illusion carries. And indeed, he is building into that Manta now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what Radiant's plan is here. Like, it just seems a struggle to me, even though it's only a 1k lead. It's unless they get a very good initiation, it's getting harder and harder to play the game. Okay, maybe they can do
Use there of the Ravage onto this Faceless Void. Faceless Void goes down. There's a plan for you, Avoxo.
Yeah, okay.
If Koro decides to farm a camp with no vision in front of 3 heroes, that's a way to win a fight.
Yes,
and now they might just roll down this lane.
Yeah, they can pressure a little bit, but Invoker and Jakiro should hold it, so...
I don't know. I mean, can you stop this tide when you have this catapult in the lane? It feels like it's very hard to do so. It seems like Corey is going to actually walk away, so perhaps you're right here. The Roche, another 5 minutes until we're going to see that back up, and Wetorme is moving in. He has the BKB finished now, and is moving now towards that Dragonlance for himself.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to go on a while.
I remember at the start, one of our fans in chat was saying 60-minute game incoming. Do you think that we could see that?
I mean, you never know it's 60 minutes, but like 45 minutes, yeah. 60 minutes is like, it's hard to tell from early on, I think.
An important stat here for the first time this game, Wong's actually take a net worth lead, and now they're on to Punjabi. The Sunstrike from Nagi. This guy, an Invoker, he's not to be trifled with.
What's up with Punjabi's items here? Why does he have 4 blood grenades in his inventory?
I mean...
okay.
He does have... What the fuck is this? I want to give an intelligent reason why, but, like, I can't.
He needs to... He's so poor or something. He only got the shard. That's why he's 4,600 net worth. He needs to get this Blink Dagger online.
Yeah, I mean, the shard, very useful with that demonic cleanse, but, like... This Blink is going to be so critical to his game, especially when you're playing into the Faceless Void. Being able to blink in and save yourself. Can they kill off Corey here, potentially?
I think they could. With a Chrono and an Ags Invoker and Shakira, that should be enough.
It feels like Wongs are maybe not confident enough to be able to take that one. But I also do agree. I do think they can potentially take him out here. Tweets moving towards this top lane. Faceless Void has used that big old jump, but it seems like Tweet's just willing to take down this wave in this top lane instead. Seems like that is the name of the game. Keep Wongs pressured, keep them in their base, keep all 3 lanes pushed. No Tormi recognize this as the way back into the game for themselves.
Yeah. Like, the Leshrac and the Windranger are just so fragile if they get caught in a chrono. They'll both die. So they're scared to show. So it's up to Corey to show on the waves. And then, like, the only way out of this is to just have full faith in your Pugna or your Shadow Demon that they will 100% save you if you get Chrono. Like, I think that's the one thing that would need to change here, is just that full faith and trust. Which is hard. It's hard for, like, a team that's new, you know, that they will get saved. And that's what you have to do.
With Torme picking up the wisdom rune there. He is moving towards that level 20. Yes, there's a side between that shackle shot duration and that wind run reduction. Normally on pause 1, we see the focus fire reduction. Normally on pause 1, we do see that focus fire reduction picked up. But this game, it's feeling a little weird of Voxer. Like both teams feeling like they think the other team is stronger than they are. Hang on, go here.
I think they're
Can.
just scared.
Oh, Punjabi! Mode Winter indeed coming out from Coral.
Yeah, both teams are just a bit scared at the moment. Like, Wongs have been behind all game, and they're not really in a lead. And they're kind of fine with how it's going at the moment. So they're not willing to risk anything. And then Radiant have just gotten wiped after a Roshan. So they're also feeling a bit bitten as well, you know? So neither team is really confident that they can go and take a fight and win a fight. Or are willing to. I mean, Wongs have won a fight, but they're not willing to risk it, you know?
We have some chat interaction here I want a big message to. So Imprint PK, the god of Archon himself, says blood grenades can still get kills at 35 minutes. Do you agree, Mr. Voxo?
Not on a Shadow Demon, no, they can't. Not on a Shadow Demon.
That's right, PK. Sit the fuck down. Next thing
Has
said
PK
in
ever
chat,
got a kill at 30 minutes in with a blood grenade? I'd like to see that.
it depends on whether or not he's playing Quap. If he's playing Quap, he's probably got some kills. If he's not, then yeah, probably
He's
not.
probably got a few deaths as well, doesn't he?
Probably a few.
Usually.
I mean, we lost 2-0 to them, which is perhaps going to be the 13th reason why in my manifesto, but it is what it is, you know.
And who else have we got in
Maestro,
chat?
your own mid laner says, "Man, why don't Wongs pick Invoker against us? I feel like the Invoker's done quite well."
I don't know. Like, has he done anything other than just drop the Ags ulti? Like, he's 2-1-8, but consider there was 5 of those from that ulti.
But like that ulti was so big that it brought this game back.
He didn't do anything. He just bought an Ags and pressed his button, and he could have been on the other side of his fucking room at that point after he pressed the button, and he still gets 5 assists.
So sometimes it's not, the fight and the dog, but the dog in the fight. That guy pressed his buttons, and it was all he needed to do.
Yeah, look, he's doing fine. I wouldn't say he's dominating, nor is he having a terrible game. Like, he was kind of struggling at the start in the lane, and he got ganked a few times, and he's just he's doing what he needs to do, which is just farm and press his Ags. Like, he doesn't need to do any more, really, at this point than do that.
There's a take here from Pliskin where he says that perhaps the Shadow Demon might have disconnected because the number of blood grenades in his backpack was too much for the graphics card to hold. Do you think that's possible?
I don't know what kind of graphics card they have down in West Cork. So.
I don't know. Punjabi, he's very twinky. Maybe there's too many grenades in his pockets and it's too heavy for his small twinkish body, and it just weighed him down so much that he's unable to play this game. And I say this as somebody who weighs about 60 pounds. But
You're
still,
a twink as well, sure. You and Punjabi.
Punjabi, I'm very twinky. I think Punjabi is
the
more
three
twinky
twinks of Irish Dota.
I think Punjabi is more twinky than I am.
Oh, he is, but yeah.
I'm less twinky. I'm more twinky than Dara. I'll take that. But I'm definitely less than Punjabi. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah, that's fair. So why do we think Punjabi's disconnected then? What's the reason?
Too many girls. That's the only reason. We got a message from PK saying your teammate got a blood grenade kill against us at run until 35 minutes. It seems like PK remembers our game a lot more than any of us would like to. None of us remember that game. After 5 minutes after we finished this, we went, yeah, that game happened, I suppose. But don't worry. The side of June Squad Junior are going to bring it back. Wait and see. Tomorrow night, actually, we have a game coming up at about 8 p.m. It's us versus Ausgang, who myself and Sinky Steve played last season. Got a 2-0 victory over. We're going to see if Mr. Sniper Monkey James is a suitable replacement for Bambi or not, because with Bambi, we got the 2-0.
Oh, Bradley played in your last game, did he?
Well, I'm saying last season.
Oh, last season. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I do miss my
And what's the June squad record this year?
it's 1-3.
Any wins?
1-3 against the lowest MMR teams in the division. But the lowest MMR teams are doing okay, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean every division. Well, I won't say every division. I'm not like as in tune, but from the divisions I've seen, most teams are competitive. Like this Div 1 is obviously my team stinks this year. It's not say we'll always stink, but maybe we will. But like every team is good. I mean, Wongs here, they lost the first one. They were behind on the second one. They've pulled it back. Everybody's competing here in this Div 1, I think.
Maestro is going off in chat here for a bit. He's saying, why do I have to play against OD, Viper, Kunkka, Void Spirit with living armor instead of an honest hero like Invoker? Do you think that's why Maestro's not doing well? Do you think that people are just picking lane dominators into him? Or do you think it's part of his own decision making?
I mean, they're just picking lane dominators into him, and then we just purposely pick shit lanes for him to play into for whatever reason, don't we? So, yeah. I mean, I tried to protect his mid lane with the Viper bans and stuff, but yeah, they picked Kunkka and that into him.
There's a lot of discussion right now on the twink comments that we made earlier. Stinky Steve is saying that I am the penultimate twink, but I would just say that Stinky Steve is just a bear. He's a very hairy. Like, to be fair, June Squad are a very hairy team. Like Faith Kian, Mr. Diddles.
Faith Kian, where? Chest hair.
Not in his head. Obviously not in his head, right? But like everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, if he has that fucking carpet on his chest. I've been around that boy long enough to know this. Like that man can make Afghan
rather than hair, than the June Squad hair situation. I think else we can discuss.
I don't think so. I think that we've been paused for 3 minutes, and you should go with the bullshit that I'm running with.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm getting some chat engagement going.
There is a lot of chat. A surprising amount of chat, isn't there?
I get a fair bit of it whenever I'm on stream. People like to banter, and Voxel, you're a famed banterer yourself, so perhaps that's why we're seeing so much.
Yeah, maybe.
They say you're an Invoker specialist. Is that true?
Yeah, I see that.
Mr. King Jones.
Yeah, I probably played 1 or 2 games of Invoker in the last 2 years and probably griefed both of them, but not that many.
Are you Jimmy Bo Spells?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I don't know who that is.
That guy's been like commenting in the Twitch chat for like 2 years, and I don't know who he is. I assume he's one of us, but like I keep seeing him, and he's like the eternal lurker. Jimmy Bo, if you are here and you played an Irish Slam, please do tell me who you are, because it's been like 3 years I've seen you commenting my streams, and I have no idea who you are. Taylor says can't wait until June schedule more games. Taylor, can't wait until you, I don't know, grow past 5'4". Eat shit, dickhead. But in actuality, we have a game tomorrow, so don't worry about it.
Best of luck.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I've been practicing heroes. As a resident Pos 5, I mean, we're both Disruptor boys,
Yes.
What Pos 5s are good right now?
Warlock, Treant, Chick Hero.
I could play Warlock. I like it.
Yeah, I've seen you play Warlock.
I can do that shit. That shit's good. I like playing Warlock. Warlock WAP, it's good.
They just back out, so they reconnect and they all call a truce and back out.
Really important pickup here to note very quickly. The Tidehunter picks up the Agnum Scepter.
Yeah, okay. Nice. He's got Wind Waker next. Interesting.
I'm surprised Corey didn't go damage this game.
Does go that. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking 5 minutes ago. Like, these players should be thinking, what items can we get to win a fight at 45 minutes? Because this is just going to go and go. It doesn't have any sign of ending here soon, I think.
Smoke comes out from the side of no Tormentor. They're moving in towards this top side, but the Invoker is very far back. Seems unlikely they can catch him, but hang on. So they gotta go here instead onto the Tide. Corey's in some trouble here. Up shit creek, paddleless. But if they're gonna go on anyone, this is who you want them to go on. The ice path is there. He walks into it, unfortunately. Positioning is really good from Corey, though. Can he get off the big old Ravage? It doesn't seem like it. But they kill off Nagi in the meantime. The Void is in. The Void drops the Chrono. But Faith Kian is here this time. A beautiful use there of that vacuum from this big ol' Shirk's Darkseer means that none of the supports are able to deal with the Chrono, and it's a 2-point. They do buyback on this Jackro. In the meantime, Tweets is able to pick up a triple kill with a kill onto this Tusk, but still, gotta say, that fight would have looked a lot worse if it weren't for the heroics pulled out there by Shirks. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's just true.
Punjabi gets a great send down on the Leshrac, to just to keep him full HP so he can win the fight at the end for them, or like at least draw even. But yeah, I thought it might go better. They do kill Corey. If Corey could just live a few seconds longer, he's going to get a better Ravage off, or a Ravage off at least, you know? Because Wongs really didn't want to commit to killing the Tide, but they do just bring him down eventually.
They do kill off the Quarry Tide. The Quarry Tide, interestingly, is now building in towards that Windbreaker. Do you rate this? I don't.
I don't know what the thinking is. Like, I assume you can do it within Chrono. I think you can, like Windbreaker and Ally, but it's not something that I would do, because your range isn't very big. You know, if you stood on the opposite side of a Chrono, maybe you can't get it off or something. So I don't really know what his thinking is here with this Windbreaker idea, rather than
you also have
a
two saves
refresher.
in Chrono already, right? Like, you have a disruption, you have a use of the ethereal from the Pugna. It feels like, I don't know, it just a little bit superfluous. The shard does end up going there to Faith Kian, increasing the cast range as well as giving the refracting life drain, which is quite good considering he's gone for the siphoning wood facet.
Yeah, I play Pugna. I've never done the refracting thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a noob. I just never do it. I never think to do it. I would rather just heal my ally than do it offensively.
I couldn't agree more, Voxel. You're a fucking noob and I'm a god. Like, that's all I can say, you know? It is what it is, you know? I can give you some lessons sometimes if you'd like.
I didn't know you were a Pugna player.
I'm not, but considering I'm such a god in every hero, I think I pull it off, you know? We have one message banned. The auto ban comes in on Mr. Pliskin. Man, Twink attacks boy Twink on live on TV. I'm glad to be called.
Why am I getting called a Twink now?
No, it's me. It's mostly me.
Oh, it's you. Oh, right. Okay.
I think it's me. Which I think is, like, you know, justified enough. But I think we're in the era of the Twink. You know, like, to be fair, people like, you know, Timothy Chalamet and to a lesser extent Paul Mescal have really done a lot for my community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Twink community.
Do you think that go here onto the Roshan from the Faceless Void, follow up as well with this big Macapar, but they spotted it immediately because of the roar, and they also spotted from the power shot, so this is a difficult Roche take, and Roche is moving to the top pit in just 45 seconds.
Yeah, I think
what are Wongs trying to do?
Back out here. I don't know. They're just forcing him down. They're probably going to both just back out, though, you'd imagine.
One would assume close to level 20 here on Corey, which will mean that Blubber triggers Angry Smash, or more likely that he goes to the -4 Gush armor with that Aghanim Scepter. He has the pipe finished. He has the Yules finished now as well.
Yeah, he gets the Yules. He actually commits to this.
It's a weird choice, but I'm sure we'll be proven wrong very shortly.
The only thing I'm thinking is, like, the Blubber isn't very good against Meteor or something, or Darkseer, you know.
Go in here onto the Tidehunter. The Tidehunter throws out the triple Gush, catching all three heroes of the side of Wong's Bakery. We have the secondary use of the Ice Path. It does land onto the Tide, but a tickling at most of Oxo.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of positioning himself here, but it's hard because they don't have the initiation on the rest of his team. Like, the Leshrac is going to need a Hex to start this if they go on the Tide, you know?
Roche now moving towards that top pit with Torme on the Windranger. He does have the Chrysalis finished since last we spoke. No buyback to speak of, though, so this is a very important fight for the Windranger. The BKB and the Chrysalis, but no buyback is always scary. He has the Hurricane Pike as well, though, so lots of things to defend against the Faceless Void Chrono, but it feels like a lot of this game is on the back of Koro, and if you're going to put the the game on the back of one hero on Wongs. I love all the boys, but Core will be the one I choose.
Yeah, I mean, all of his team is just waiting for him to cast Chrono. That's what everybody's playing off, really.
Go out here onto the Jackro, caught up with the leash, but the follow-up
Good
leash is
Lotus
also
Orb.
on this big old tide, so he's stuck in place for a second or two. Use there of the runaway from this Darkseer, damage being pumped out onto this tide. He's almost dead. There's the Yule, saves him temporarily, means he gets off the Ravage. In the meantime, Kamki does go down to a Torme, and now we're being made to eat our words. This Yule's actually did so much work. In comes the ginormous damage from Kamki, but it's not enough to finish off the Tidehunter, and now it says the Void, forced to walk away. Does the right click track him in time? He throws up the fucking blast, but it's off center, but instead it's Corey coming in and chopping down this Faceless Void. They lose the Tusk in the meantime, and surely they kill off this Tidehunter here. But the heals are there for Faithkian. The leash is onto this big old Dark.
They kill the Wind Ranger on the backside there.
But
with
there's
the
not
buyback,
much they
so
can do.
yeah, it's kind of an even fight now because they get that Wind Ranger.
I don't know, it feels like this Void is so much more important than the Wind that you're probably still cool with this if you're tidy.
Yeah, like they get a good wraparound. The Lesh and the Wind Ranger hold their discipline while Corey baits them in and they wrap around, but they kill the Jakiro. But that was the Wind Ranger's focus fire that she used for Jakiro, and then she doesn't have it for anybody else in fight. So she doesn't really do that much. I mean, maybe you need to get to 25 for things to start happening for the Wind Ranger.
One other item of note is that we do use buyback on Tusk in order to get that fight off, which means that now he's almost below the Shadow Demon in terms of his net worth. Like Faithkian on 11k while this Tusk is on 7. The net worth differential between the teams is literally the pause fours.
Yeah, both that last two fights, both Wong supports have had to buy back once each. So they're not getting that much progression. I mean, you like it, Jakiro Ags as far away as it is right now.
Ult not ready for the Darkseer, Ult not ready for the Faceless Void. Are they sure they want to take this one? I mean, they've no Ravage to speak of on the Tide, but everything else is up. 24 seconds until this Ravage is up. I think what No Tormentor are doing is they're trying to rate out this Ravage, but by the time it's back up, the Chrono will be back up, and now the Darkseer wall is also back up, so feels like a bit of Groundhog Day here of Oxo.
Yeah, the Wongs can't do anything without the Chrono. Like it's everything that they have is playing around that with the Ags Invoker. It is up now. There's a good Chrono here if he goes.
Jumping immediately onto this Jackro. Jackro in some trouble. In comes the big wall out from Shirks to follow Chrono. It catches Faithkian this time. And it also catches up Punjabi. He gets off the disruption just in time. In the meantime, he's lost both his supports. So this fight no longer looking good. A great Ravage coming out there from
really good
Corey.
Ravage.
Catches all three. And now in rains this damage from this big old Leshrac. But the kiting is working from the side of Wong's. Attempted go there from the Darkseer onto the Leshrac, but he has the BKB to pop. They have no detection for the Invoker, and now trouble for your Wind Ranger, caught out with that go, but Corey is in, trying to stand between the side of Wongs and the rest of them. They don't get the latch and the shackles, which means that the Invoker is able to walk away, and Roche still living and is going to move to the bottom side. This fight's been going on so long that he's moved up and down. He's going to move fucking down again, Avoxo.
Yeah. They just don't have enough control on Radiant. Like this Leshrac has been trying to get to... Oh, he has a Hex. Okay.
Go now onto
Maybe they
the
have enough now.
Darkseer, potentially. Use it with a leash. Follow up with the Tornado. The Tornado is out onto this Leshrac, but with that pipe, it's going to be entirely nullified. They're moving in heroes from the side of No Torme. The scary position to be in as this Wind, recognizing that he walks away, and as does this Pugna, using the Glimmer Cape to reposition.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so close between both teams. The supports are dying and all the cores are just living to half HP at the end of every fight, you know?
It feels like this Roche has to go down at some point. They do have the focus fire now up on the Windy. It's only going to need a little bit more damage, a bit more space in order to do this. The Ravage is not up right now on the Tidehunter. 45 seconds until it's back up, but no chrono for 20. That 15 seconds might be the difference maker this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Wind Ranger on bottom.
Oh no, we're Torme. No.
Oh.
Oh, good save there from Punjabi. But will it be enough? No, the bash! And now Void has chrono. And they've caught out both this Lesh as well as this Pugna. Don't chrono without catching the Pugna as well. They catch the Pugna and the chrono. Very nice play there from Koro. It's a double kill for him on this big old Places Void. Out comes the big Sunstrike. It's a 4-for-0 so far. Wongs have put themselves back into this, and now they've got up that big old use of the Meteor Hammer. Corey, last man left alive. It's a ginormous team fight for the side of Wong's Bakery. They take a 5-for-0 of Oxo.
Yeah, it's just bad engagement. They lose the Wind Ranger at the start. They can't save him. There's no way they can fight if the Wind Ranger dies at the start. Even though he's not doing very much in the fights, they can't take a 4v5. It's like they take 5v5s and they only go even, so they can never do a 4v5.
And but
yeah, really good for Wongs.
Take the Aegis, a 70% win chance according to Gaben. Do we think it's quite that high?
Yeah, it's just so much easier for them to play with this Void Chrono, in my opinion. Because you're asking for these saves to be perfect every time, and they're just not at the moment. It's not as easy for the supports to save into the chrono as it is for the enemies.
One of the things I always remember Maniac, the positive 4 and Wong saying, which is that sometimes it's not about which team has the better team fight, but which team fight is easier to execute, especially in games like this. We're not pro players. We need to recognize that people will make mistakes, and it just feels like Wongs have a pretty set game plan now going into this late game. There is a lot of save on the side of Notormi. This game is not over by any means, but now a 7k net worth lead for the side of Wongs.
No, it's not over, but I'm just not feeling this Wind Ranger impact. I mean, I think that's the big problem here. He's got free farm, but he's not able to get into a fight safely because he's just getting controlled, or maybe he gets hit in a chrono, and he's just not able to kill these heroes. I mean, even the Void has the Lincoln, so maybe he can't get a Shackle focus fire or something. It's just not as easy for this Wind Ranger to play as it is for the Faceless Void. And the Tidehunter, there's only so much he can do. Like, it's not that good in this game at the moment.
We said at the start of this game that it would be hard for Wind Ranger support. We were kind of surprised to see it move to that core position. Feels like a bit of a mistake. Go now onto the Leshrac. Leshrac does have that BKB. A lot of damage being pumped out by the Mystic Goat. The Faceless Void, though, coming in. Drops the Chrono. Nice use there of the disruption from Punjabi. Keeps him alive for now. How long will it last is the question. Long enough that he stays alive. Buyback on Faith Kian, but considering the chrono is used for that, you're probably happy enough if you're the side of
the that looked like a bit of a mistake there from Wongs. They do have the refresher on Void to walk up to that high ground and not respect the Shadow Demon send down. They don't have to force it that hard on Wongs, you know. Just let the Radiant, no Tormentor, group up themselves.
A really nice play from Punjabi there. I think if Punjabi doesn't get off that save, they probably lose that game in that exact moment.
Yeah.
And now Wong's looking to take the 1-1. It's feeling harder and harder for the side of Notormi as the seconds go on.
Yeah, and they're not even the refresher tide. He didn't go for it. He's got the Mystic Staff in his inventory. He's holding it. Is this upgraded Wind Waker? It is, right? So he gets the Wind Waker. Like, I don't know. I'm just seeing 6,000 net worth, almost 7,000 net worth spent on a Wind Waker to break a Lincoln's. It's not feeling very worth. You know, would you not rather a Hex even?
And it's interesting as well because with this, Wong's, you know, they're undefeated so far. They've won 2. They've drawn 1. Notormi, this is their 3rd series. They are the team, if any, that will challenge the side of Wong's, and you know, Skitty's Angels, unless they get a fucking Earth Spirit, aren't. So it feels like this is the strongest opposition they can face, and Especially considering how hard that last game was. They're really showing themselves to be a very resilient team here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is only the league phase hope that I'm saying, you know? But yeah, if they win this, that would be number 1 seed, you would imagine, lockdown. But yeah, good comeback from them. Like, they weren't behind too much, but their map was being pressured in and they're just gonna remain calm.
We have Jessert of the James in the chat right now saying the true play is to wait for the level 25 Shadow Demon, 2 casts of Disruption, Chronosphere, useless.
Yeah.
It doesn't
When is that going to be? Punjabi's got like 2,000 net worth in the last 30 minutes or something, and he's getting no levels.
Feels like it might be kind of hard for him to get into that position.
Yeah, like that's going to be 30 minutes away.
I mean, we talked earlier about this Faces Void going for the Midas plus the Mjolnir, but it feels like it's really paid off here. Attempting to try trade towers here on the side of No Tormy. They send for the Wind Ranger as well as the Leshrac. If he can catch out the Invoker here, this will actually be kind of good. The Faces Void is battering onto those towers, but with Corey to stand in between him and the rest of the creeps. Corey is caught out now, but he has, I suppose, the Windraker, but
yeah, that's the Windwaker.
Damage. Catch out now onto this Faces Void. The follow-up with that Snowball coming out from this Tusk. Doesn't feel like it's going to be enough. They've brought back Retorme now. They need to do something about this.
The Aegis time's out, though, so they're going to have to back up on Wongs. I mean, equally, it is difficult for them to go the high ground with a tide, with buybacks and stuff, you know?
This Ag's Tide, just such a menace. Pause comes out once again from Tori, which means that we can start discussing this game just a little bit more. Big 25 picked up here, which is the Wind Ranger, and she goes to the Focus Fire, kills advanced cooldown, while the Wind will dispel.
Yeah, yeah. That's what she needs, I think. She also picked up a Manta for the Dispel, for like the Void time dilation, etc. Jakiro, it's pretty good. But yeah, it does just come down to how good this guy can play the fight, whether No Tormentor can win.
We have a quick message chat from T-Fam. T-Fam, just want to say very quickly, as a new caster of the scene, well fucking done in your cast earlier. You were absolutely deadly. I hope we'll see a lot more of you in the future. You did a wonderful job. Let's have a look at the level 25s real quick. So we have it coming up on the Windy. The Faces Void's already had it. The Invoker is creeping towards it. And with that, do you think he goes to the Radio Deafening Blast or the 2x Quast Wex Exhort bonuses? I think he just goes to the Exhort bonuses with those Sunstrikes, right?
I have no idea, but yes, I think that's true. I think
when he gets that, the team fight becomes even harder. Like, Corey is barely limping out of the combo as is. I mean, puts so much pressure on Punjabi. I mean, we're looking at all these levels. Still level 18 on Faith Kian and Punjabi here. Faith Kian had a very impressive early game, but has found it hard to creep into this game since.
Yeah, there's also, they get to 25 on the Leshrac, so he gets more damage. They're about to get to 25 on Tide, so he gets an extra Ravage second. Yeah, I don't know, is there anything that's significant there? Like, the Ravage, if he had a refresher, he's queued it up now. He's going to sell his Vlads in like 2 minutes and buy the refresher. That's potentially game-changing. Because at the moment, Wongs can dictate everything with their refresher, Faces Void, and just their superiority in the team fights. But if they get a refresher Tide, they can just blink Ravage 2 heroes, and they can win the game off that. Just 2-hero Ravage twice.
I think also another thing to note is that this is not a traditional Leshrac in terms of that no building damage Diabolic Edict. If they win a fight, he bursts this fucking towers down.
Yeah. He's probably going to go with the upgraded Yules again on the Leshrac, so he's going to be pretty hard to kill in these fights. It's all going to be if Punjabi can save. If Coral doesn't hit a big chrono and Punjabi can save one of his cores in the chrono, they have a chance then, you know?
Indeed, but Coral getting bigger and bigger on this Faces Void has finished up now. It looks like he's going to move into that Aghanim's Blessing, so the big Time Walk is going to be coming out now, going to be able to disrupt those team fight combos. just feels very hard to deal with him.
I think this Void Eyes is quite underrated. It's, I don't know, I like playing, I can't play Void. It always felt really good. And he also has a 25 the backtrack chance, which is significant.
Oh, here come no Tormy. They want to kill here. They have the Ravage
He has
up.
Refresher. He has Refresher.
He could pull this off.
Goes the
they
wrong
don't
way.
Quite connect. Oh, the 50-50 doesn't favor the board in this instance. I'm actually quite low on Maniac as well. Maniac missed the go on him there initially. They do get the go onto the Jacaro. And now the side of Wong seems like they're going to make like a sheet, get the flock out of there. Faith Kian going to be the first one gone on instead. Here comes the Chrono. It catches out only onto the Tide and the Pugna. Is that going to be enough? This Tide is pushed out of the Chrono by that damage, which now means instead it's Shirks who's pumped at the start of this fight, but it's not enough. It seems like they're still going to win this, but here comes the second Chronosphere. The damage is too much for Nagy, and Nagy's going to go down
here.
to this Leshrac. It's a 3 for 3, and they're not done yet. It feels like this Leshrac might just go down to this Faceless Void, though, with the use there of that big Polar Punch. But hang on, this is a big edict. It seems like he's going to go down. It's a 4
Corey leaves his boy to die. Corey leaves him to die.
I think Corey could have killed them.
Maybe. Yeah, like I don't know how they hold that fight on no Tormentor. Like the Leshrac is just not chronoed on the backside, and he's doing so much damage. His Coral catches on the second chrono, he catches the Tidelander to the very far left and the Wind Ranger to the very far right, and he kills the Wind Ranger. But yeah.
It's got to be said, you know, we said if the Faceless Void doesn't get an ideal chrono, these fights aren't great. And even with not getting an ideal chrono there, we still saw taking those two heroes out was potentially enough there, right?
Yeah. Like the chrono it wasn't ideal, but it was okay, you know. But like these fights are so close. It feels like neither team is strong enough to win the game. That's what it feels like watching this, as opposed to they're equally matched. It's like they're both kind of scared. They both underestimate what they have or something. They just can't find the right plays to win.
Wong is now attempting to take out this Roche. There is not the TP reaction that you'd like from the side of No Tormy. They do have a TP on the Tide, but they're not going to get there in time, which means this is going to be a free Aegis for the Faceless Void, potentially. 25 as well picked up here on the Darkseer. That is the AoE Surge. I think they should have contested this one.
Really? Maybe. Maybe. They don't have any chrono. They don't have any chronos.
They have no chrono. They have chrono now, but they didn't during the Roche take. I feel like with that Aegis, this game becomes so hard for No Tormy.
I don't know, like, because they're not killing the Void anyway. Like, it's not really about if they can kill Void twice. It's about if they can kill everybody else one time and then they can kill the Void after, you know? So, I'm not... The Aegis doesn't mean that Wongs are just going to walk up and win this game.
I mean, they struggled to kill him once. I mean, killing him twice feels really fucking hard. I mean, 25 now picked up on the Invoker. He goes with the Radio Deafening Blast.
Okay, he goes to the other one. Yeah, like, they struggle to kill the Void, but I think it's just how do we get our heroes to be, like, how do we fix this chrono issue, you know? That's, if we can survive that, then we can kill the Void, you know, twice even, because we'll have enough. It's just figuring out a way of entering a fight where they don't get two-man chronoed and lose their supports at the start.
It's a classic endgame where whoever catches who just wins the game. Maniac Polar punches an illusion when the illusion is next to him. So I think they might know the smoke is up, boys.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm wondering how this Wind Ranger can play the game. Like, is even an Aeon Disc? I know the items have been nerfed a lot, but would that be something? The Void doesn't have a nullifier. They don't have any form of Dispel, I think. Maybe Tornado
Dispel. It feels like
Mode
Despair if you're going for that in a pause 1, though, right?
Yeah, it does, but it's the only solution to the chrono. I know he has two chronos, obviously, but he's going to go for a blink.
Go
Just
here with
gone
the
out here.
chrono now onto these big. Oh,
Punjabi?
Windy. Nice use there from Punjabi of that save, but it's only temporary. We're still going to lose Weatherme.
Yeah.
And now it seems like No Torme need to start running. They lose Faith Kian immediately there afterwards. It's a 2 for 0. Make that a 3 with the Aegis going into the back pocket of that Void.
Why did Punjabi just stand still in the trees? Did he think they couldn't see him?
I don't know. Like, it's a lot of things for him to think about at once, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not feeling this Wind Ranger pick. Like, I really think this is where they went wrong. It's so hard for him to play the game into the Void. Like, the Void was a good pick. But it's just, Wongs just have such an easier time to play this game, you know?
I mean, it's one of those things we said at the start. Like, we didn't like it as a support. I definitely don't like it as a core. I think transitioning towards this Shadow Demon last, I feel like there's so much more you could have done with that core pick. You know, something like a Spectre this game would have been fucking gorgeous. I don't know if I rate making sure that Punjabi gets... I mean, he's done a good job with the Shadow Demon, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough compared to what it's done to his own team.
Yeah, yeah.
Go now out onto the side of Wongs. Core is kicked backwards. Core needs to be very clever. Pops the Ravage before his own team are back.
Oh.
With the buyback. Double Ravage though. They
Oh.
do kill off Lunatic. Can they also kill off Void? The first life is down from the Faceless. Lunatic
Tusk
also
back.
buying back right now to try and stem the bleeding of this fight. But the mid tower still does go down.
Yeah, no Ravage left for this hold.
And now the kickback from this Tusk onto this big old Leshrac, the buyback putting in scope here to try and make some damage happen. There's no more Ravages to speak of, and now it's your Leshrac who's in trouble. Nice heals there from Faith.
Yeah, good save from
alive for
Kian.
now. Can they finish off this Void? That is the question. He drops the ulti. It's only onto Weathermay, but that might be all you need because Shirks in the back line catches 3 of them with the vacuum. That's the side of No Tormentor down. They buy back here immediately onto this window. Do they buy back onto the Shadow Demon as well? But you have none of these heroes ready to respond. They do die back in the Tusk in order to do this. And
Shirks
it looks
probably goes
like
down
Dark
too.
Spear is down.
Okay. 2 buybacks for Radiant here. Tusk dies back, but they don't lose any racks.
It's hard to tell. I mean, they will have double Ravage back for next fight, which I think is more valuable than anything else, but...
They're also almost close to 30 on Faceless Void, which genuinely might have been a better option at the 25 in this game because of what they have on their team.
Big
And with the
chrono.
refresher, yeah.
The other big itemization to speak of is this Tidehunter moving in towards a Hex as his final item.
Yeah, I would have liked that when he bought the Yules instead of it. But it just felt like even 20, 30 minutes ago, like Radiant could not pressure the enemy. No matter, even if they had a lead, they couldn't actually pressure because the danger was so high of the chrono, and nothing has changed really.
Indeed. It will get into 60 minutes as well. The tier 4 items up in just 2 minutes. Which side do we think benefits from this? I feel like Koro could just pick up a Divine Regalia or something of the sorts and do some damage here.
I mean, I think No Tormentor I'm not saying that it's better for them, but anything changing the game state is better for them than what they have here. You know, maybe has the kill thing been removed? You know, where you live for 5 seconds? I think they removed that out of the game, didn't they? What's that called?
It's
that's
called
gone from the
the
game.
Helm of the Undying.
Yeah, that's gone from the game. If that was in the game and the Wind Ranger got it, that would be game changing for them, but it's not. So, I don't know what Radiant can get here on the tier 5 that would change the game.
All members of Wong smoked behind this Tusk, trying to make it go in onto the side of No Torme. They do have their Watermelon, the Tide, quite heavily positioned for, but No Torme recognizing this go, avoid it for now, unless they're caught under this portal. Doesn't feel like they will be.
Yeah. And I know I'm hating on this No Tormentor, just the situation they're in with their heroes and stuff, but they still have a refresher Ravage. It can still change. if they find the right fight. If they just sit underneath the ward and Wongs happen to walk into it and Corey jumps, they can easily wipe them. But it's just harder to do.
You need to be careful as well with this Leshrac sitting in the top lane. The Diabolic Edict, if he gets it off, one Edict at level 25 is enough to take a tower.
Yeah, it's very unassuming how much damage that does.
Dire's top tower
Seems like the side of No Tormentor are going to back off now, force 3-man rotation towards this top lane. This could be their time to go, potentially, Voxo.
Yeah, there's the Vision and the Radiant Jungle from Dire. Do they have a gem even? No, they don't have a gem on Radiant, so they can't really sweep through the jungle safely. But is there any items coming out here, like, for Radiant? There's 8,000 gold on the Lesh. You could maybe make an Ags upgrade. You could change his boots out. The winner just buying out on the
spends her
Swift
buyback to get a Swift Blink. Is that worth it?
Yeah. Well, she bought back. I don't know about the Swift Blink. She needs some way to get into the fight, though, so I assume that's his only option, is to buy a Blink and then upgrade it.
Jumping immediately onto the Tidehunter. He has the Wind Waker to keep himself alive. He pops the Ravage and the Hex.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's thinking there.
And now this
Few too
bottom
many
tower is
Zins.
good. Yeah, he's put him in the top right side. I don't know. I'm a top left Zin merchant myself. I think top left is the dignified choice.
Right,
Jerks is a
60-minute
bottom
items.
decker.
There's
Yeah.
a Stygian Desolator for the Windranger. Pretty significant
item.
damage upgrade.
If they can win one fight, this base is dead.
He's the only person with a neutral item at the moment.
Oh, speaking
on
of
to
which, they
Tusk.
caught out this Maniac Tusk, and he's
Yikes.
dead very quickly. That's
That damage was
some
very
weird
fast.
positioning there from Maniac.
Yeah.
Why is he there?
I don't know. He doesn't respect that they have a ward, maybe. Or maybe he's checking the D ward. I'm not sure what he was doing.
That's pretty significant. I mean, that's one of your biggest forms of save. And important to note, Maniac does not have buyback. His cooldown is down for another 2 minutes. This could be a go time for No Tormy. That's a more important kill than they think. Especially with Roche respawning in 25 seconds. They're not going to have a Tusk for this fight.
Yep. They're looking for something, but Wongs are quite split on the map here. They're not going to find anything very easily.
That's it. What's your thoughts on Burst and Jacker right now?
How did they see him there?
They don't need to.
They pinged him.
He's got bad vibes.
How did they scan? They didn't scan that.
Faith Gann's a famous cheater.
I don't
Famous
know.
cheater.
They didn't scan that, and they just pinged exactly where he was standing.
It does feel a little odd, but it does definitely guarantee this Roshan now with another 30 seconds till Tusk is back up. They do have buyback available on the Jackro if they choose to go for it. Surely they take Roche here, right?
Mark, what did I tell you like 45 minutes ago? Both of these teams are too scared to win the game. Like they can't force it. Like neither of them can force the game to end at all. They're just trading this stuff back and forth.
They have a Stygian Desolator on the fucking Windranger. I mean, they do take the Roche.
Yeah.
Takes a little longer than they'd hope. But that is a Refresher Roche as well. Refresher on the Leshrac, one would assume. And yeah, they do take it on the Lesh.
Punjabi does pick up the bucket at the Desolator on the Void. The Zune on the Invoker. He's going to take a lot of damage. Is that worth it?
Yeah, it's a hard question to answer. I mean, with that Dezoom Bloodright, he does have a 16% extra area effect, but 35% of mana cost, when your mana cost is that high, does put you into a weird position.
And he goes on Jakiro as well. Really good on Jakiro. It's so good.
Jessert of the James in the chat asks, is Tusk lost? We have some Google Maps from my own chat, something I like to throw out every now and then in the game. Maniac maybe on some Google Maps vibes, some Apple Maps maybe.
Any more chatters?
Not much. Not much. We have enough. We have enough. It's less deranged than usual, I would say. So well done, chat. You're doing good. You're keeping it relevant. I like that.
We're
25
back to
creeping in for Pugna, actually, which is pretty big. The Netherward damage per mana at 25 is bigger than one would think, especially when facing into an Invoker.
yeah, I suppose it is. I've got to Pugna 25. I've probably taken a Nether Blast damage, but maybe that was just whatever state of game I was in. But yeah, the other one is definitely better. 1.9 damage per mana Netherward.
Not to mention, we get the Tidehunter 35, which means Anchor Smash affects buildings. If no Tormentor take one fight, these buildings are fucked.
Yeah, this is the thing. If they can get to the base, they will start to decimate it.
And now, Windy also closing in on the non-dispellable. Now, to be fair, nobody's gone for any form of, like, you know, a nullifier or anything at this game. But the Windy is getting very big.
The tornado dispels, doesn't it? The Invoker Tornado?
It does. So, you're right.
Yeah.
Feels like Wongs have given the side of No Tormentor way back into this game a little bit from how past.
Yeah, they just don't respect each other so much. The team fight, you know, it's double Ravage versus double Chrono, and neither of them can have gotten a perfect initiation, really.
Go now onto this Tusk. They kick back onto this big old Leshrac. Leshrac is in trouble. Pops off that big use BKB, but the BKB is while they're disrupted, which means they lose both their Shadow Demon, their Pugna, as well as their Leshrac, and now Shadow Demon gonna go down. It's 3 for 0.
Not the best send from Punjabi. He has the BKB active, but it's high stakes situation. You're being told, just send me down when they go on me, you know.
Indeed. Go now onto this big old Tidehunter. Nice use there of the kick from this Tusk. The follow-up as well of the Yules. And these jump ins and jumps out.
Ranger on the bottom lane. Is she taking a Rax?
Indeed she is.
She gets a range Rax.
Can she get caught out here? She can. Here comes the right click from Shirks. It's enough to knock him out. Can they get the follow-up? They have the Boots of Travel and the Hex, which now means the Windies is in trouble. There's the Aegis down. And there's nothing there afterwards. She has no BKB to speak of.
Yeah, really good from Shirks to catch him up.
Yeah, that's potentially game-winning.
Yeah, they have a chance.
20 seconds in a Windy.
Yeah. No, she can buy back, but like they've used 2 buybacks here, and they can maybe force a third. Like, as long as Radiant have buybacks, or Dire has buybacks, it's hard to win the game. You have to bleed the buybacks out and then take your refresher ulti fight.
Indeed, and this game is going harder and harder for the side of the Wong's Bakery as this continues. They do now have the level 30 on their big Faces Void, which means the big Chronospheres are going to be coming out here. As well as the follow-up damage that we've seen from Shirk so far, it's going to be kind of scary. And very close to 30 on Invoker with the extra levels in that Quas Wex.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Yeah.
Jump here now
early
onto
BKB.
the Invoker and the Faceless Void. Early BKB comes out from this Faceless Void, uses the Chrono, but it only catches the Pugna. Is the Pugna enough to catch is the question. They do kill off these top barracks. And now it's Mega Creeps almost. One more lane is all that stands between them and achieving those.
Yeah, the Leshrac got the Ags now, but he doesn't really have anywhere else to go from here.
Indeed he doesn't, and with that buyback from Weathermay, he's now so far behind in terms of itemization.
Punjabi almost at 25. Maybe he can work miracles.
It's 2 disruptions potentially into a Chronosphere. It could be really important in a game like this that is this close, now calling in on 70 minutes. I mean, Wong's doing what they can to stay in this game, but it's hard for them right now.
Yeah. Corey has the option of a new item here instead of the phase boots with the spider legs, so we'll see what he goes for. He's 8,000 gold.
Indeed he is. Corey looking very big on this big old boy on this Darkseer, but Darkseer surely falls off at some point.
but at least those illusions are going to keep them in this game for at least a little longer. Go now out onto this Tidehunter, tied up with that radial AoE, and the follow-up as well with the kick as well. Tide in some trouble. Down goes Tide.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just so separated on Radiant. The Pugna's dead and people aren't near the Tide, and Tide gets kicked around and stuff. Like, he has the cast range on the Tusk, so he can kick from really far away. He doesn't need to go on top of you.
Buyback forced out here from the Tidehunter, so now Corey clinging on to life. If he dies again like that, it's going to look real bad. They do keep their racks alive from having Corey here, but things are looking rough for the side of no Tormentor.
They have to just go and make a play here and no Tormentor. I think they can't. It's just getting worse and worse.
Indeed it is, as this Faceless Void is going to be waiting out this Roche. Just one more minute until it's back up. I feel like this Roche fight is going to decide this game, Voxo.
Yeah. It's going to be bottom.
Indeed it is. And right now, Wongs with the superior team fight in terms of what they have bottom. They are ready to take this fight.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it here on Radiance. Even just selling one of your supports, like getting Keen to just walk in, blink on a high ground and see and give vision for Corey to get a good Ravage wouldn't be the worst, because his utility is only really Netherward, because he's not saving anybody at this point. The damage is too high.
You do have a low BKB on the Faceless Void is the one thing that's worth knowing right now. I mean, he has just 5 seconds left on it. I think that is the only way they come back into this game.
Yeah. No, I'm still saying they can fight them. Yeah, they definitely can. But they're just not able to take the initiation or find the initiation into doing the fight.
Indeed they're not, and this bottom lane being pressured out continuously by the use of these Forge Spirits. This will be megas if they do manage to take it, and it doesn't feel like the side of no Tormentor are willing to give it up yet. Throwing out this Diabolic Edict as well as the Split Earth from this Leshrac. Leshrac now with the Shard picked up to try and have some sort of effect on the defense.
Yeah, they're just going to force them back to death and then go Roche. Wait for the Roche to respawn. It's not up yet.
It's 1 minute 15 until Wongs will get it. I mean, I assume Wongs are going to hold that position, especially with this Refresher Orb out on the Faceless Void right now. It's a matter of Punjabi.
Yeah. It's all on Punjabi. The Void goes Disperser for what reason? I'm not sure. Hey,
I assume it's the slow coming out from the Tusk and the Shadow Demon, but it does feel like a weird pick.
It does Dispel now, so maybe it is against the Pugna.
And the Leshrac as well.
I don't think that's Dispellable, is it? Oh, it is. Oh, Jesus, yeah, okay. I thought that was undispellable. I thought it was like an AoE that you apply. But yeah, okay, it's good against the Leshracs. Oh, I didn't realize there's a Savory Shield on the Lesh. Look at that. We missed it. It's about to expire. Ah, okay.
Indeed, and neither team willing to take a fight during this time. 7 seconds to Roche, Voxo.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they going to contest, do you think? What's Keen saying?
I think they have to, right? If they don't,
what's Keen saying?
You say, our team is stronger than their team. That's what Faith Gan is saying right now.
Yeah.
But it just feels hard. Like it's one of those games where one bad decision here will end this game, but letting them get this Aegis for free, the Refresher potentially coming out on this Faceless Void, a second Refresher, doesn't feel great.
Yeah, they're going to give the Refresher to Darkseer.
Indeed, the Darkseer with that wall and with that vacuum is going to be able to kind of pump up those Chronos. We've seen this in the previous fights. The team fight of the side of No Tormi is largely based off what this Darkseer and this Pugna can do to save these heroes. And with that Refresher on the Darkseer, it feels much harder to do so as they just get immediately vacuumed into the Chrono.
Yeah, so It's going to be a buyback here in less than 10 seconds and on the Pugna, so they're going to have 8 lives to play the fight, and then maybe the winners will get a buyback as well.
Kick back immediately from the Tusk out onto this Leshrac. Leshrac gets hit up with the banishment, but no, they banish the Void instead. Not even the Void, they banish the Tusk. A huge misplay there from Punjabi. Oh no.
Here we go. Ravage.
Oh, but the Ravage.
Oh.
The Ravage is here. It's not enough to keep his heroes alive. The nice use there of the heal from Faith Cannon as well as
living.
the Wind Ranger Ravage. And here's the secondary Ravage. Can they finish off the Void? They can. And they also dodge out the damage coming out from that Cataclysm with that Wind Waker. Follow-up damage with the use of that ultimate from this Tidehunter. I mean, they die back on the Shadow Demon. They die back as well on this big, scary Pugna. Can they do anything there afterwards? It doesn't feel like it. Instead, I feel like the Void is just going to click down this barracks.
Yeah.
And down it goes. That's Mega Creeps.
It looked good for a moment, and then the Wind Ranger just didn't have focus fire to finish off the Darkseer or something. I thought she was just going to actually show up to a fight for once in this game and do something. But she buys a Rapier here.
Indeed she does, and jumping now onto the Darkseer. The Darkseer taking a lot of damage, but Wind Ranger dies.
That's it. Really
That
good
might
from
be it.
Tusk. Yeah, Tusk is ready.
A 1-1 might be looking like it will be likely, and GG is called from the side of No Tormentor. GG easy, says Shirks. I don't think it looked that easy, bud. You were down 12k, but Wongs do take out this game.
Yeah, I mean, Shirks, when he wins, he finally starts talking, and we didn't hear from him for 6 months when he lost the last league, so yeah, he's well able to talk now.
With that draw, Wongs do move up to the top position in this Division 1, holding that first position. Very impressive resilience shown there from the side of Wongs, not just from losing that first game, but just in terms of how long that second game took.
Yeah, no, they played it well. Like, it could have gone either way there for a while, but once it went past, maybe 30 minutes, it just felt like it was an inevitability that Wongs would take it. I think the winner pick was poor, especially with the Void. Like, the Void last pick was good because the winner just could not play the game. So yeah, like, really well played for them at the end.
Folks, that is all we have for right now, I'm afraid to say. But thank you so much for tuning in to this Division 1 game. Wong's Bakery taking the lead in our Division 1. I'm Rununtel alongside Auntie as well as Avox. So we take it through this game. Please do shoot us a follow on your Twitch if you have some time. There will be an invite to our Discord server in the chat very soon. If you would be interested in joining, we'd love to have you involved. We are a community that always welcomes new players, as well as the fact that we have a LAN coming up this April in Belfast. Very cheap accommodation, very cheap flights. Do come and get involved. Avoxo, any last thoughts?
No, thank God that second game was over because the tension was killing me waiting for Radiant to take a fight.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same position. Good night, folks. See you later.